Chapter 266. Genius remembers love in 1 second/small? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. If you want to fight, that's fine. However, you have to listen to eldest senior brother. Don't act recklessly. Nanyang City's Thai family isn't any weaker than Medicine Valley's. It's just that they don't have a venerable. This battle will be a huge one, Gong Xian said. The closest force to Medicine Valley was Nanyang City's Thai family. This time, the Medicine Valley wanted to cripple the Thai family and let the Fire Tiger sect and 8 Li Fort's O family know that the Medicine Valley wasn't something they could touch. Hua Yunping and Yu Yangyu weren't the only ones who wanted to make a move. A few of the Grand Elders also wanted to make a move. They didn't intend to give Nanyang City's Thai family a chance to catch their breath. Eldest senior brother, isn't the sect taking a risk by making this decision? What if the Golden Flame sect uses Nanyang City's Thai family as a trap and the venerable of the Golden Flame sect is waiting in Nanyang City? Night Sorrow said worriedly. 13, you've thought it through. The sect won't take the risk because our spies in the Golden Flame sect and the O family have confirmed that the venerable and experts of the Golden Flame sect are hiding in the O family. They think that the Medicine Valley will attack the weaker O family first. Now we're going to attack the stronger Nanyang City first, Gong Xian said. Since that's the case, I'm relieved. Will the battle start tomorrow? Night Sorrow asked. We'll set off in the second half of the night and head straight to Danqing City. The Thai family of Nanyang City took down the sect's Danqing City 2 days ago. Their main forces are now there. In the second half of the night, we'll gather the forces of Cloud Sea Peak, North Pole Peak, Forgotten Cloud Peak, Crepe Myrtle, and Danding Peak. We'll directly eliminate the main forces of Nanyang City in Danqing City. Gong Xian nodded. Then everyone went to rest. Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu went to the second floor where Night Sorrow lived. Night Sorrow, I won't be going with you. Be careful, Sikong Chuyu said. I'll be careful. I'll be with Big Brother and 9th senior sister. Nothing will happen, Night Sorrow said with a smile. Don't worry, Chuyu. Our Medicine Valley has also sent out all of our main forces this time. Our Grand Elder, Master, and the others have also joined the battle. The Thai family of Nanyang City is no match for the Medicine Valley, Yang Lei said to Sikong Chuyu. Sikong Chuyu nodded and then left Night Sorrow's room with Yang Lei. Night Sorrow needed to meditate and rest. In the middle of the night, Night Sorrow came to the hall. When Night Sorrow arrived, Gong Xian and the others from Taishan Peak were already there. Let's go to Danding City to meet up with the other junior brothers. 6th junior sister, you stay here and take care of the other 3rd generation disciples, Gong Xian said. Aoi had a gentle personality and almost never participated in any battles. She didn't do any sect missions or Chinji Tower missions. She also didn't do any killing. This was no secret in Taishan Peak and Medicine Valley. Nodding to Sikong Chuyu, Night Sorrow followed Gong Xian and the others and left Longquan Courtyard on their flying beasts. When they arrived at the square in front of the Danding City Mayor's mansion, they controlled their flying beasts to land. At this time, the Danding City Square was brightly lit. The Grand Elder and Xuanhuan were there. The people from the other peaks had also arrived. All of them were disciples of the 4th stage and above. Don't say too much. The time for battle has come. Whoever dares to touch Medicine Valley will have to pay the price in blood. Get on the mounts. The Grand Elder roared and released a red goshawk. He then jumped on the back of the goshawk in a flash. After that, the others also got on their mounts. Those who didn't have mounts shared a mount. At this time, the difference between the disciples of each peak was obvious. Taishan Peak had the most mounts. Other than Yu Yangyu's disciples, the other 2nd generation disciples also had mounts. Only a small portion of them didn't have mounts. At most they had 2 people on a mount. The other peaks had 3 people on a mount. Crepe Myrtle was full of women. It was even worse. Most of them didn't have mounts. Let's go to Taishan Peak. Yi Xiling shouted to her disciples. At this time, what could the disciples of Taishan Peak say? Everyone was going to fight for Medicine Valley. Some of them might not even be able to make it back. How could they refuse to let them ride? 2 second-generation disciples of Crepe Myrtle also came on the back of Night Sorrow's Tianyu. Night Sorrow had seen these 2 people before, but he didn't know their names. Junior brother Night, your mount is so handsome. The Valley Master is just worried about you. An older disciple said with a smile. My junior apprentice brother obtained this mount himself. Don't think that everything my junior apprentice brother has was given to him by someone else. Everything he has was earned by himself. Yang Lei, who was not far from Yishang, was somewhat dissatisfied. This disciple of Crepe Myrtle smiled apologetically at Night Sorrow. She originally thought that such a handsome beast like Tianyu must have been given to Night Sorrow by Jianghu and the others. She never thought that Night Sorrow got it himself. E6 is forever exempt. #fee #little f said. Then the group set off. Night Sorrow knew that the journey would take 4 hours, which meant that they would attack the place before dawn, when people were most likely to be scarce. 4 hours couldn't be wasted. Night Sorrow let Tianyu follow Gong Xian and Yang Lei's green condor and then sat down to meditate and cultivate. Looking at Night Sorrow meditating on the back of Tianyu's neck, the two disciples of Crepe Myrtle looked at each other. Most people couldn't do this. This was the difference between a tamed beast and an intelligent beast. Tamed beasts were tamed by humans. They would be obedient, but they didn't have much intelligence. They would do whatever you commanded them to do. If you didn't command them, they wouldn't move. Most people controlled their tamed beasts to fly, but Night Sorrow's Tianyu followed Gong Xian and Yang Lei's green condor and knew how to accelerate and decelerate. It was extremely agile. Under such circumstances, anyone who wasn't stupid would know what Tianyu was like. It was an intelligent beast that could continuously evolve, not to mention that its bloodline was very strong. The first elder and the other peak masters weren't surprised. Night Sorrow cultivated for 4 hours before everyone arrived at the outskirts of Danqing City. Then the first elder assigned tasks. The first elder, the second elder, and Yen Beibei led a group of people to the city lord's mansion, while the other peaks charged through the 3 city gates. Many of you haven't experienced war. I'll remind you now that war is cruel. It's either you die or I die. If you see any members of the Tai family in Nanyang City, kill them as long as their cultivation is above stage 2. After assigning the tasks, the first elder turned around and reminded everyone. The disciples who came this time were all stage 4 and above, but many of them had never experienced a battle. Taishan Peak and Crepe Myrtle were attacking from the south gate. They wanted to charge through the south gate to the city lord's mansion. North Peak and Cloud Sea Peak were the north gate, while Forgotten Cloud Peak and Ninein Peak were the east gate. Danqing City was built on a mountain, so there were only 3 city gates. Seeing the first elder lead a group of elders into the city, everyone moved. Riding their flying beasts to the south gate, the disciples of Taishan Peak and Crepe Myrtle landed. After the battle begins, all disciples of Crepe Myrtle will listen to Peak Master Gong's orders. Those who disobey will be killed. The battle was about to begin. Yi Xiling gave the order to Crepe Myrtle's disciples. A battle needed a unified command, and Yi Xiling was aware of this. Don't hurt the civilians. They are all citizens under the jurisdiction of Medicine Valley. They don't want Danqing City to fall. Kill them now. Yi Xian roared and charged forward. Chapter 267. Genius 1 second. Remember love, go, Xiao? We provide you with interesting novels to read. When the Medicine Valley's troops arrived, the members of the Tai clan in Danqing City already knew. The Medicine Valley wasn't afraid of the Tai clan of Nanyang City finding out. This time they were going to kill them openly. Since the Tai clan of Nanyang City dared to seize Danqing City, it was a declaration of war. Since they had declared war, the Medicine Valley would fight to the end. The city gates opened, and the troops of the Tai clan of Nanyang City rushed out. The city gates and city walls wouldn't be able to resist the attack of the Medicine Valley. They could only fight. The city gates and city walls could only resist the attacks of demonic beasts that couldn't fly. They were useless against the attacks of human experts. Rank 4 cultivators could fly for a short period of time, while rank 5 cultivators could fly continuously. The city gates and city walls were just decorations that couldn't stop them. Both parties quickly engaged in close combat. Gong Xian, Yang Lei, and Yi Xiling rushed at the front, while Night Sorrow followed closely behind them. Night Sorrow's cultivation was lower than theirs, but his soaring dragon steps was extremely fast. As they engaged in close combat with the disciples of the Tai clan of Nanyang City, Night Sorrow brandished his reincarnation spear and directly pierced the chest of a disciple of the Tai clan of Nanyang City who was guarding the city. This was a rank 4 defender. When he saw that Night Sorrow's cultivation was only at the rank 3, he didn't take it to heart. The long sword in his hand slashed out diagonally, intending to shake off Night Sorrow's long sword and then attack Night Sorrow's chest. Love, go, shao shua iw. Aichux. Tim. When the weapons clashed, the expression of the disciple of the Tai clan of Nanyang City changed. His long sword was shaken off by the explosive force of Night Sorrow's reincarnation spear. After shaking off his opponent's weapon, Night Sorrow pushed with his right hand. The reincarnation spear instantly accelerated and pierced into his opponent's chest. With a shake of his arm, Night Sorrow sent the disciple of the Tai clan of Nanyang City flying. This shocked the disciples of Taishan Peak and Crepe Myrtle. That was a stage 4 cultivator. Of course, he had underestimated his opponent, but he had also seen Night Sorrow's tyrannical combat power. After killing an opponent with a single spear strike, Night Sorrow took out 2 sky-piercing spears and placed them on his waist. He then continued to charge forward. This was a chaotic battle, so Night Sorrow had to be prepared for close combat. Shouts and screams rang out continuously. The strength of the Tai family in Nanyang City was comparable to that of the Medicine Valley in the past. They also had many subsidiary forces within their borders and many experts. Of course, there would be many people guarding such a crucial place like the city gate. The battle was especially intense. Night Sorrow brandished his reincarnation spear and killed the men of the Tai clan in Nanyang City. Night Sorrow could kill a stage 3 opponent with a few spears. As for stage 4 cultivators, Night Sorrow was not afraid of them. He could also fight, but it was very difficult to kill them. At this time, Taishan Peak or Crepe Myrtle's disciples would take over. Everyone knew about Night Sorrow's situation. They knew that Night Sorrow was a stage 3 cultivator and could sweep away all stage 3 cultivators. However, it would be difficult for him to kill a stage 4 opponent. Therefore, they did not let Night Sorrow face a stage 4 opponent. Night Sorrow's white battle robe was dyed red with the blood of his enemies. The others were not as miserable as him. After all, stage 4 cultivators had their chi protecting their bodies. Blood would not splatter on their bodies. Soon, the disciples of the Medicine Valley killed their way in through the city gate. The battlefield shifted to the city. 13. Be careful. Yang Lei shouted at Night Sorrow. At this time, a group of people surged out of the city. These people's cultivation bases were very high. The battle was very fierce. While the members of the forces of Nanyang City were killed, the Medicine Valley side also suffered injuries. Die. At this time, an old man appeared. After punching Xuanhuan back, he slashed at Lin Jingyi, who was not far behind Xuanhuan. Ding. With a crisp sound, Lin Jingyi's long sword was broken by the old man. Her body was also sent flying to the side. She flew for 5 to 6 zhang before falling to the ground. At this time, a young man from the Tai clan of Nanyang City brandished his saber and slashed at Lin Jingyi. Jingyi. Junior sister. Crepe Myrtle's men shouted loudly. However, no one had the chance to help because they were too far away. At this time, Night Sorrow pulled out the sky-piercing spear with his left hand and threw it. This black light was not very obvious in the dawn, but it let out an ear-piercing screech. The sky-piercing spear pierced the young man's abdomen and sent him flying backward. In the end, he was nailed to an ancient tree on the side of the street. The people of Medicine Valley heaved a sigh of relief. One must know that the young man's saber was only half a chi away from Lin Jingyi's neck. After throwing the spear, Night Sorrow followed behind Yang Lei and Gong Xian. They continued to advance and kill. More and more bloodstains appeared on their robes. In the beginning, they encountered many rank 4 cultivators. They were the main force of the Tai clan of Nanyang City. They were also at the forefront. After breaking through this blockade, the number of rank 3 cultivators of the Tai clan increased. Night Sorrow was like a ferocious tiger that entered a flock of sheep. He brandished his reincarnation spear and killed with every strike. In the middle, Night Sorrow once again used his sky-piercing spear to save a disciple of the Crepe Myrtle. There was no time to retrieve the sky-piercing spear. Night Sorrow took out 2 more sky-piercing spears and stuck them on his waist. The sky gradually brightened. The group continued to advance, but the battle was not as intense. After all, this was no longer the main area. 13. Are you injured? Yang Lei asked as she looked at Night Sorrow's blood-stained battle robes. I'm fine. It's all someone else's. Night Sorrow shook his head. 2 hours later, Yi Xiling, Gong Xian and Yang Lei led their troops and killed their way to the City Lord's mansion. The battle at the City Lord's mansion was even more intense. The plaza in front of the City Lord's mansion was filled with blood and corpses that were lying on the ground. Not long after Gong Xian, Yang Lei and Night Sorrow arrived, the other 2 groups of people also arrived. Duan Lei, how are the losses of the North Pole Peak and Cloud Sea Peak? The pale-faced Great Elder asked. 9 head. 4 disciples died. The other 2 were severely injured and crippled. Duan Lei bowed and said, Yuan Tai Lingxiao, how is your group? The Great Elder looked at the second group of people. We lost 5 disciples. Lingxiao is also injured. Yuan Tai said with guilt. There are deaths in war. They died for the Medicine Valley. They are the pride of the Medicine Valley. Qianwu said. Gong Xian Xiling, how is your group? How are your losses? The Great Elder coughed and asked. 2 disciples died. Some of the others are injured. Yi Xiling said. Fortunately, we can't stay here for too long. We don't need to guard this city. Everyone go down and comfort the people. Tell them that the Medicine Valley will not give up on this place. We are retreating now for the sake of the overall situation. The Great Elder said to the higher-ups of the Medicine Valley. 13, are you injured? The Great Elder looked at Night Sorrow and asked. I'm fine. Thank you for your concern, Great Elder. Night Sorrow bowed. Chapter 268. Geniuses remember love in 1 second? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Senior Sister Tang, what are you doing? Night Sorrow wanted to help them up, but he was a man and a woman. Junior Brother Night, thank you for saving my 2 junior sisters, Tang Xianxian said. Senior Sister Tang, we are all from the same sect. We are all fighting for Medicine Valley. There is no need to be so polite, Night Sorrow said quickly. Oh right, my sky-piercing spear. Great Elder, please continue with your work. I will go look for a weapon. Night Sorrow was about to leave. He couldn't lose his sky-piercing spear. 13, why are you so excited? Yi Xiling said with a smile. Then she waved her hand, and a disciple of Crepe Myrtle came over with 2 sky-piercing spears. I was in a hurry just now, so I forgot to take them back. I didn't have time. Night Sorrow nodded and took back the 2 sky-piercing spears. What happened? The Great Elder asked. 13 killed a lot of enemies and saved Crepe Myrtle's disciples twice, Yi Xiling said. The Great Elder, the Second Elder, the other elders, and the Peak Masters all nodded at Night Sorrow in admiration. It was rare for a 3rd-stage disciple to do this. At noon, all the disciples of Medicine Valley left. The Golden Flame sect was strong, so the Medicine Valley wouldn't choose to fight them head-on. They couldn't leave their men in Danqing City and wait for the Golden Flame sect to strike. The members of Medicine Valley rode their flying beasts back to Danding Peak of Medicine Valley. Night Sorrow didn't stay in Danding City either. He was worried about Hua Yunpeng and Yu Yangyu. The Medicine Valley had dealt a heavy blow to the Tai family of Nanyang City and Danqing City, but the key to determining the outcome of this battle was still the battle results of Hua Yunpeng, Yu Yangyu, and the other Grand Elders. Only by destroying the backbone of the Tai family of Nanyang City could they establish the foundation for victory. In the side hall of Danding Peak, Night Sorrow saw Yu Yangyu and Hua Yunpeng. Seeing the 2 of them, Night Sorrow felt relieved. If the 2 of them were safe, then the other Grand Elders would also be fine. After asking about the battle at Danqing City, Yu Yangyu also told him about the battle at Nanyang City. Y forever Q, for a long time D free fee QMCT small %. Say Carrot the Patriarch and Grand Elder of Nanyang City's Tai family had been killed. Apart from those outside, none of the Tai family members above Type 5 were spared. This kind of result made everyone very happy. Then Yu Yangyu and the others arranged the next step of the Medicine Valley's operation. Love Gong Little Say first, they informed the Fire Tiger sect and the 8 Mile Fort's O family to scram. If they continued to follow the Golden Flame sect like dogs, then the venerables of the Golden Flame sect would stay in their territory. Otherwise, the Medicine Valley would eliminate them as soon as they had the chance. This was the difference between venerables and venerables. They had absolute suppression power. The Medicine Valley was at a disadvantage against the Golden Flame sect, but they had absolute strength against the Fire Tiger sect and the 8 Mile Fort's O family. The Medicine Valley's notice was actually to let the Fire Tiger sect and the 8 Mile Fort's O family make a choice. Continue to follow the Golden Flame sect like dogs, or withdraw from the battle in this area. If they continued to stand behind the Golden Flame sect, then they would have to constantly consider the attacks of the Medicine Valley. If the Golden Flame sect's protection was not good enough, then it would be a disaster. However, how could the venerables of the Golden Flame sect stay in their territory all the time? This was unrealistic. The Tai family of Nanyang City was a good example. After knowing that the Tai family of Nanyang City was wiped out by the Medicine Valley, the faces of the higher-ups of the Golden Flame sect were very ugly. The current situation was out of control. This was something that had not happened in the Golden Flame sect for many years. Su Huantian sat on the main seat and looked at the people in the main hall. At this time it was useless for him to blame Zhan Qianni. It would also make the other families think that the Su family was suppressing the Zhan family. In addition, the Zhan family also had venerables. It was not appropriate to overly attack Zhan Qianni. Tell the Fire Tiger sect and the 8 Mile Fort's O family to withdraw from the Medicine Valley. Instead of letting them withdraw themselves, it's better for the Golden Flame sect to say it directly. Su Huantian said. Yes. Zhan Qianni was now in a mess. With Su Huantian making the decision, the pressure in his heart lessened. Venerables, then we should let the Medicine Valley continue to be arrogant? Xianhua looked at xuanhuan and asked. Under the situation where we can't destroy the Medicine Valley's venerables, no matter what we do, we won't be able to destroy the Medicine Valley. Xuanhuan shook his head. The other elders also understood this point. The Golden Flame sect's strength was much stronger than the Medicine Valley's, but in the current situation they couldn't break through. After the Medicine Valley made a move, they would retreat to Danding Peak. If the Golden Flame sect continued to make a move, the Medicine Valley would continue to make a move. After the fight they would retreat. No one could do anything about it. Su Huanqian couldn't defeat Hua Yunpeng on Danding Peak. With a stable base, the Medicine Valley wouldn't be afraid of the Golden Flame sect's attack. Looking at the other disappointed elders, Su Huanqian coughed. We can only endure it for now. When Venerable Zhan comes out of seclusion, I will go to the Medicine Valley. As long as we can take down the Medicine Valley's venerables, the Medicine Valley will be frozen and disintegrated. The elders of the Golden Flame sect and Zhan Qianni could only nod. This was the only way for the Golden Flame sect to break through the current situation. After that, Su Huanqian asked Zhan Qianni to arrange for the takeover of the Tai family's territory in Nanyang City. The Tai family in Nanyang City had already been wiped out by the Medicine Valley, which left a large empty area. Of course, the Golden Flame sect didn't want it to fall into the hands of the Medicine Valley. The troops sent by the Fire Tiger sect and the 8-Mile Fordo family to attack the Medicine Valley retreated. This was the Golden Flame sect's intention. In fact, without the Golden Flame sect's intention, they would have retreated. They didn't want to be the second Tai family. The battle in the Medicine Valley had stopped, but the storm hadn't calmed down. What? Because of the ownership of the territory under the Tai family in Nanyang City. The Golden Flame sect didn't want to benefit the Medicine Valley and didn't want the Medicine Valley to expand. Of course they had to take over. What about the Medicine Valley? After destroying the Tai family in Nanyang City they worked hard. Naturally they wouldn't give the Golden Flame sect the fruits of their labor. The Golden Flame sect couldn't do anything to the Medicine Valley at the moment. Of course, the Medicine Valley wasn't afraid of trouble. They began to fight for territory with the Golden Flame sect in Nanyang City. Battles happened frequently. This time the 12 peaks of the Medicine Valley all moved. They began to occupy the territory under the control of the Tai family in Nanyang City. Whenever a disciple of the Golden Flame sect appeared, they would kill him. The Medicine Valley even took over the key Nanyang City, which was no less prosperous than the Danding City. The Tai family in Nanyang City was on the same level as the Medicine Valley in the past. They had operated in this area for many years and managed an area of tens of thousands of miles. After the Medicine Valley took over Nanyang City, they sent Yen Beibei and Xueqi to guard it. The two were ordered to guard the city and not let the Golden Flame sect take it away. If the small fries of the Golden Flame sect came, they would kill them. If the experts came, they would retreat. The Golden Flame sect was burning with anger. They clearly understood the means and intentions of the Medicine Valley, but they couldn't solve it. Chapter 269. Genius 1 second. Remember Love Go/Small? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. The conflict ended with the victory of the Medicine Valley once again. More than half of Nanyang City was taken over by the Medicine Valley while the other half was taken over by the Golden Flame sect. The most important part of Nanyang City fell into the hands of the Medicine Valley. The Fire Tiger sect and the 8-Mile Fordo clan were both shocked and bitterly disappointed by this result. They were both considering whether it was right or wrong to be tied to the Golden Flame sect. As the saying goes, the fox mourns the death of the hare. The Tai clan of Nanyang City was the same as them. They were both affiliated forces of the Golden Flame sect. But now the Tai clan was destroyed. Not only did the Golden Flame sect not seek justice for the Tai clan of Nanyang City, they even took over a part of the Tai clan's territory. The higher-ups of the O clan held a meeting. Everyone felt that in terms of credibility, the Golden Flame sect was not as good as the Medicine Valley. And the Medicine Valley was rising rapidly. Elders, it's time for the O clan to make a decision, said the head of the O clan, O Zhentian. That's right. The Golden Flame sect asked us to retreat because they had no choice. They knew that even if they didn't ask us to, we would still retreat, said an elder of the O clan. We can't touch the Medicine Valley now. Those people are unyielding. Once we provoke them, there will be no end to it, said the female elder of the O clan, O Shuru. We didn't offend the Medicine Valley too much. The Golden Flame sect should be the one to blame, said O Zhentian. What do you think, clan head? O Shuru looked at O Zhentian and asked. I want to have a talk with the Medicine Valley. We have to talk. The conflict between the Medicine Valley and the Golden Flame sect will erupt again. What should we do if the Golden Flame sect continues to use us as cannon fodder? Xianxia expressed his thoughts. Yes, we need to talk. The Medicine Valley has its own principles. They should know that we were helpless in the past. The Golden Flame sect is really unreliable. If we don't attack the Medicine Valley in the future, they will turn against us and swallow us whole, the white-haired xianxia said. Since that's what everyone thinks, then I'll make a trip to the Medicine Valley. However, everyone must understand that since we're going to negotiate, it means that we're tied to the Medicine Valley's chariot. Xianxia reminded the O family elders present. If the Medicine Valley could lend a helping hand when the Golden Flame sect attacks us, then it doesn't matter if we're tied to the same chariot as them. After we go there, be humble. We're no longer on the same level as them. An old man walked in. Great Elder. Everyone in the main hall of the O family stood up. It was the Great Elder of the O family, xuanhuan. The situation is chaotic now. If nothing unexpected happens, the Medicine Valley will rise. Our O family doesn't have a venerable, so we can only follow behind the top forces. Therefore it's important to choose a side. Things are different now, so we have to be humble, xuanhuan said to Xianxia. Then Xianxia will go. Xianxia stood up and said, Shuru, you go with him. Pay attention to his whereabouts. Xuanhuan said to Shuru. Xianxia and Shuru left the main hall of the O family and headed towards the Danding Mountain of the Medicine Valley. Night Sorrow and Yang Lei returned to Danding City. Night Sorrow accompanied Yang Lei to deal with some matters in the City Lord Mansion. Then the two returned to the Longquan courtyard. You're back. Sikong Chuyu and Aoi, who were drinking tea, greeted. Your man is very impressive. He has killed countless enemies. Yang Lei lifted her skirt and sat down. Aoi smiled. You speak as if he's not your man. Yang Lei wanted to say something, but after opening her mouth twice, no words came out. She really didn't have the strength to fight back. Ai go xiao shua 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 w. Ai chuex. Calm, alright, sit down and drink tea. Sixth senior sister is right. Sikong Chiyu said with a smile. It should be stable for a while. Always said. The Golden Fire sect can't do anything to the Medicine Valley. They can only wait for an opportunity. As for when that opportunity will come, I'm not sure. Yang Lei thought for a moment and said. It should be some time. The Golden Fire sect's actions this time have caused them to lose popularity. Not only did they not seek justice for the Tai family of Nanyang City, but they also went to fight for territory. This will make the Fire Tiger sect and the Eightley Castle O family bitterly disappointed. I don't think those two families will work wholeheartedly for the Golden Fire sect. Aoi said after pouring tea for Yang Lei and Night Sorrow. It's better if it's quiet. That way we can cultivate peacefully. Night Sorrow didn't want the situation to be too chaotic and affect his cultivation. Yeah, war means death. This time the losses were small, but some disciples died. It's quite heartbreaking. Aoi said. This topic was quite heavy. After all, before the war, everyone was still alive. 13. You have to prepare. It won't be long before the alternate space opens. Yang Lei reminded Night Sorrow. I understand. I don't know if my cultivation can still be improved. Night Sorrow said. Such alternate spaces are very dangerous. No one knows what's going on inside. You have to know that there are many unknown creatures in the world. I've read about alternate spaces in ancient books. There are undead, demons, and so on. Those are all extremely powerful and evil creatures, Yang Lei said. That's right. An uninvestigated alternate space is extremely terrifying. It could be a small space with a radius of a few dozen miles or 100 miles, but it could also be an extremely large world. Because it has existed for countless years, it can produce spiritual treasures of heaven and earth, but it can also give birth to extremely vicious creatures. Qing Ji said to Yishang. She knew that Yishang was young and did not have much experience. After I go in, I will be careful. However, there are still more than 2 months. Night Sorrow was not worried. After drinking the tea, Night Sorrow went to practice his spear art. With the improvement of his chi cultivation and the myriad Dao treasured tome, Night Sorrow felt that there was room for improvement in his spear art and movement technique. In Thunder Mountain, several old men were standing in front of a space crack emitting evil aura. This is the entrance to an alternate space. However, the energy is unstable. After it stabilizes, only severed soul stage cultivators and below can enter. If high-level cultivators enter, it will cause the space to collapse. Then call back all the late-stage third-order disciples who are training outside. The appearance of such an alternate space may be a great opportunity. An old man said. In the Holy Light Grand Canyon the same situation occurred. The Holy Light Temple also called back all the elite disciples below the Fourth Order. Translator, Timothy_editor. Globe-Glotter Night Sorrow worked hard to improve his cultivation. As for the alternate space, Night Sorrow felt that it was no different from doing a Chinji Tower task. After cultivating in the Dragon Spring Courtyard for half a month, Night Sorrow once again returned to the Medicine Valley's Danding Cliff. To continue climbing he had to borrow the pressure of Danding Cliff to cultivate. The main reason was that the energy here was abundant. It was no different from cultivating in the Spirit Gathering Array. Chapter 270. Genius 1 second. Remember Love Go/Small? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Many people in the Medicine Valley didn't approve of him. They were all disciples of the Medicine Valley, so showing off in front of their own people wasn't something to be proud of. Night Sorrow's 6-kill performance at Hua Yunping's venerable celebration ceremony had already gained the approval of most people. This time, in the confrontation with the Tai family of Nanyang City, Night Sorrow had even killed a Stage 4 opponent. Such a battle record was hard to accept even if others didn't want to. After greeting Elder Su, Night Sorrow began to climb the cliff. Night Sorrow climbed to a height of 5,400 meters and began to cultivate. It was still difficult for him to climb 5,500 meters. Night Sorrow wanted to cultivate now, not to break the record, so he didn't want to waste time. When Night Sorrow was cultivating, the others consciously distanced themselves from him. This was because they didn't know when Night Sorrow would make a move. In addition, this was also a form of respect for Night Sorrow. One must know that those who could reach Night Sorrow's area were all Stage 4 Spirit-Severing Stage disciples of the Medicine Valley. It wasn't easy to gain their approval. While Night Sorrow was cultivating hard, Jianghu, the Great Elder, Qianwu, and the others were talking with Zhenqian and Shuru in the main hall of the Medicine Valley. Although they were still fighting a while ago, Jianghu and the others were still polite to Zhenqian and Shuru. Even if they were fighting, they still had to receive 1 or 2 people from the other side. This was their magnanimity. After that, Zhenqian explained his intentions and expressed his sincerity. I personally agree with this matter, but we also need the opinions of the other elders. How about this? Clan head, if you have any opinions you can voice them out. Our Medicine Valley will hold a meeting of elders to make a decision, Jianghu said. Zhenqian and Shuru glanced at each other. Then Zhenqian told them about the clan's idea. The clan was willing to join the Medicine Valley and live or die with the Medicine Valley. If the clan was attacked by the Golden Flame sect after leaving the Medicine Valley would have to fight against the enemy together. After that, Jianghu and the Great Elder held a meeting of the elders. There were also elite disciples who brought Zhenqian and Shuero to the side hall for tea. Soon, most of the elders of the Medicine Valley arrived and began to study the problem of the family. After that, everyone felt that this was a good thing. After all, it was too difficult for the Medicine Valley to deal with the Golden Flame sect alone. If they could form an alliance with the clan, the strength of the Medicine Valley would increase by a lot. The Golden Flame sect would have 1 less helper. With this, the Medicine Valley wouldn't have such a hard time in the future. Love Go Little Seiku, as long as they are sincere in forming an alliance with us, there won't be a problem. What I'm worried about is that they won't dig a hole for us. When the time comes, they will ruthlessly dig a hole for us, Lu Qinyun said. This shouldn't be a problem. The clan won't do that. It won't do them any good. We have the Venerable to deter them, so they won't dare to be fickle. In addition, we will also know if they make any unusual moves, Jianghu said. After that, Qianwu went to invite Zhenqian and Shuero back to the Pill Cauldron main hall. Jianghu told them the opinion of the Medicine Valley. After hearing that the Medicine Valley was willing to accept the clan, Zhenqian and Shuero immediately swore on their inner demons that they wouldn't betray the alliance. The successful alliance made Zhenqian and Shuero very happy. Although this move was a gamble, at least they wouldn't become cannon fodder. After all, the Medicine Valley and the Golden Flame sect had different styles of doing things. In addition, the 2 sides also exchanged administrative areas. In this way, the Medicine Valley would be able to connect the area left by Nanyang City with their own territory. When they connected with the clan's territory, the 2 sides would form a line of defense. Starter? For this line of defense almost divided the territory of the Golden Flame sect into 2 halves. The Medicine Valley, the Tai clan of Nanyang City, and the clan of Eightley Fort, these 3 first-class forces occupied almost half of the territory of the Golden Flame sect. Now that the territories of these 3 forces were connected, the area of the Golden Flame sect was very large. I wonder how the Fire Tiger sect will react next, Zhenqian said. Our actions can't be hidden. Before the Fire Tiger sect has any reaction, the Golden Flame sect will make their move. Whether they want to rope them in or threaten them, the Golden Flame sect won't give the Fire Tiger sect a chance to betray us, Xianxia said. That should be the case. No matter what, as long as the Golden Flame sect touches our territory, we will fight back. When the time comes, Valley Master Lu just needs to send the battle plan to the O clan, Xiantian said. Okay. Rest assured, O clan master. The Medicine Valley will either not accept them or not. As long as the Golden Flame sect touches the O clan's territory, the Medicine Valley will fight back, Xianxia reassured the O clan. Valley Master, the O clan is now at the heart of the struggle. The older generation of the O clan is not afraid of war or death, but the younger generation is not. They are the seed of the fire. The Medicine Valley is safe. Can you let the younger generation of the O clan hide here? This way we won't have to worry about the consequences when we fight. Xiantian looked at Xianxia and asked, Great Elder, what do you think? Xianxia looked at the Great Elder. I have no objections. When you come, let's communicate with each other. There were some conflicts during the Venerable One's celebration last time. The younger generation should not take things too hard, the Great Elder said. Then it's settled. In a few days, Elder Shuru will bring the younger generation over. Valley Master and the elders will arrange it. This way we can rest assured and the Medicine Valley can rest assured, Xiantian said. O Clan Master, you think too much. Since we are allies, the Medicine Valley will definitely trust the O Clan. After hearing Xiantian's words, Xianxia said. This was because Xiantian's words had two meanings. Sending the younger generation of the O Clan to rest assured was because they were not afraid that the Venerable One of the Golden Flame sect would go to the O Clan's headquarters and kill all of the O Clan's disciples. Letting the Medicine Valley rest assured meant that the younger generation of the O Clan would be used as hostages. Okay, then we will take our leave. Xiantian and Shuru left. This meeting was a happy ending for both sides. The Medicine Valley and the O Clan both expressed their sincerity. Nominally they were allies, but the O Clan considered themselves as a subordinate force. Since then, the Golden Flame sect's territory had become a situation where the two forces were fighting for hegemony. Knight Sorrow stayed on Danding Cliff and worked hard to cultivate, rapidly increasing his cultivation. He wanted to increase his cultivation as much as possible before the alternate space opened because everything in the alternate space was unknown. Towards the unknown, Sikong Chuyu told him to have a reverent heart. Cultivating on Pill Tripod Cliff allowed one's cultivation to improve quickly and steadily. Yishang cultivated diligently and tirelessly. This was the treatment that the disciples of the Medicine Valley dreamed of. However, for countless years, no one had been able to do it. After all, it was too difficult to break the record. After cultivating for half a month, Knight Sorrow was driven down from Danding Cliff by Elder Su. Elder Su was worried that Knight Sorrow would develop a psychological resistance to cultivation after cultivating for a long time. Although he felt that there was no problem, Knight Sorrow did not refuse Elder Su's good intentions. After drinking a jar of wine with Elder Su, Knight Sorrow left. Knight Sorrow planned to pay a visit to Xianxia. After not seeing him for half a month, he wanted to pay his respects. When he arrived in front of Danding Main Hall, Knight Sorrow saw the people of the O Clan and immediately took out the reincarnation spear from his back. Chapter 271. Genius Remembers Love in 1 Second/Small? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Seeing Knight Sorrow take out his reincarnation spear, the O Clan's disciples took a few steps back. One of them, an 18 or 19-year-old youth, stood out and said, We are O Clan's disciples. We came here with our clan's elders. We have no ill intentions. At this moment, the Great Elder, 4th Elder, Lu Qinyun, and Shuru walked out of the Pill Cauldron main hall while chatting and laughing. Look, fortunately we came out in time. Otherwise a fight would have broken out. 13 Quickly put away your weapon. The Great Elder waved his hand at Knight Sorrow. Medicine Valley's Taishan Peak's disciple, Knight Sorrow. Last time, during the Honored Expert celebration, he displayed his invincible might and killed 6 people. I have seen him before. Shuru said. 13 Let me introduce you. This is O Clan's Elder Shuru. Also, let me tell you that the sect and the O Clan are now allies. In the future we will be friends, not enemies. The Great Elder introduced to Knight Sorrow. Junior Knight Sorrow greets Elder O. Please don't take what happened during the celebration to heart. Knight Sorrow cupped his hands at Shuru. Last time he killed a member of the O Clan. I won't. At that time our standpoints were different. These are the younger generation of our O Clan. If they have done anything inappropriate, please don't mind. Oshuru looked at Night Sorrow and nodded her head in appreciation. Elder O can rest assured on this point. Great Elder, where is my master? Night Sorrow nodded at Oshuru and asked the Great Elder. Valley Master also needs to cultivate. Therefore this old man is busy with this and that. The Great Elder said with a smile. Then this disciple will take his leave first. Night Sorrow bowed to the Great Elder and Fourth Elder. He nodded at Oshuru, released Xianxia and left in a flash. This little guy is amazing. Oshuru sighed. Night Sorrow is not bad. Elder Lu, take Elder O to Thousand Water Peak. Great Elder said to Lu Qinyun. The O family had arranged for their core seedlings to stay in the Medicine Valley. The Medicine Valley had also specially allocated Qianshui Peak, which was beside Danding Peak, for them to stay in. Lu Qinyun and O Shuero were in charge of communication between the two parties. After settling down the O family's disciples, Lu Qinyun left. He wanted to inform the disciples of the Medicine Valley about this matter. They shouldn't get into a conflict because they didn't know each other. Today's Night Sorrow drawing his gun was a good example. That youngster even used a weapon against us. Doesn't he just have a slightly better master? A female disciple of the O clan said with some dissatisfaction. Love Gon Little say W Chu, be careful with your words, cousin Zijuan. He is very powerful. Not only does he have a good master, but he also killed 6 people in a row on the stage during the Medicine Valley's prestige conference. He relied on his true abilities, said the young man who had begun to communicate with Night Sorrow. Cousin Zijing, is he really that powerful? O Zijuan asked. He's invincible among his peers. Don't you think he's powerful? Although you don't like Obin, you know his strength. At that time they were at the same level, but Obin was killed in an instant. The disciples of Nanyang City's Tai family, Flaming Tiger sect and Golden Flame sect's genius xianxia were all killed by him on the stage. Do you think it was luck or coincidence? That was a manifestation of strength and courage. O Shuero glared at O Zijuan. Elder is right. This disciple has never admired anyone, but he is one. Although he was an opponent at that time, this disciple's blood was boiling. He raised his spear and shouted to the heavens that he would kill whoever came. How domineering was that? O Zijing said. Zijing, your vision is indeed not bad. Let's not talk about strength for now. That aura is not something an ordinary person can possess. The most outstanding thing about the disciples of the Medicine Valley is their aura and willpower. The disciples of the Medicine Valley are not afraid of strong enemies. As long as they are provoked, they will fight to the end. The Taishin Peak's disciple Mo Qin pursued his enemy for more than 10 years in order to avenge his junior brother. This is his aura. The disciples of the Medicine Valley have the courage to fight to the end. This is also their aura. This is something that we, the disciples of the O clan, must learn from, O Shuero said to the disciples of the O clan. The disciples of the O clan bowed and listened to O Shuero's words. The O clan used to be a first-rate force among the subordinate forces of the Golden Flame sect. It had been around for a long time. The O clan system was very strict. The requirements for the disciples of the O clan were also very strict. Therefore the disciples of the O clan were not good for nothings. They immediately understood. In the future the O clan and the Medicine Valley will be allies in the same camp. To put it bluntly, without a venerable, our O clan is actually a subordinate force. It's just that the Medicine Valley respects us. Therefore, interacting more with the disciples of the Medicine Valley and becoming friends will only bring us benefits. O Shuero said to the disciples of the O clan. Elder, then is it appropriate for us to visit Night Sorrow? O Zijing asked. After all, Obin died in the hands of Night Sorrow. Let's not talk about the past. Looking at the future, I won't object to you guys interacting with Night Sorrow, O Shuero said. Night Sorrow left Danding Peak and rushed towards Danding City. He hadn't seen Sikong Chuyu and Yang Lei for half a month. He missed them. Tianyu's speed was much faster than before. In less than 4 hours, Night Sorrow returned to the Dragon Spring Courtyard. 13. Why didn't you break through this time? Seeing that Night Sorrow's cultivation was already at the peak of level 5, Aoi asked. This wasn't Night Sorrow's character. I also wanted to, but I was chased away by Elder Su. He didn't want me to stay up there for too long, Night Sorrow said helplessly. Just accept his good intentions. It's the same if you break through after coming back. The Dragon Spring Courtyard can calm your mind and concentrate. It's actually more suitable for breaking through. Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu walked out of the hall. I know, that's why I came back, Night Sorrow said with a smile. Hurry up and break through. The matter of the alternate space is a little troublesome, Yang Lei said. What's up with the latest X chapter? Night Sorrow asked. The matter of the alternate space is now a hot topic. Space channels have appeared in the Thunder Rumbling sect and the Holy Light religion. According to the news, the space channel they found is the same as the one we found in the Medicine Valley area. It's full of baleful aura, Yang said. Could it be that there are several more channels in the same space? Night Sorrow frowned. Such a situation was very unfavorable. In other words, after entering the alternate space, there would be many opponents. If that's the case, then it's not a space. It's likely to be a small world, a world that hasn't been explored by humans. It's full of opportunities and also full of crises, always said. Opportunities are medicinal herbs and refining materials. In fact, I don't care much about it. I just want to go in and broaden my horizons, Night Sorrow said with a smile. You're just talking about small opportunities. There are many big opportunities. In such a world, it's most likely that the origin stone will appear. It's the crystallization of the origin energy between heaven and earth, which is of great help to cultivators, xianxia said. Chapter 272. A Genius Remembers Love in 1 Second? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Origin stones don't just contain energy, they also contain attributes, laws, and so on. The most precious origin stones are the cores of spaces or worlds. They are also known as space origin. However, it's difficult to obtain them. This is a book about small spaces and small worlds. Take a look. Aoi took out a book and tossed it to Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow took the book and began to read it. As he read, Night Sorrow gained a better understanding of the unknown space. Space and worlds were created because of the heart of origins, also known as space origins. If the space was large enough, it would be called the heart of the world. The attributes of space and world were also determined by his heart of origin. For example, if it was a space filled with darkness and evil, then its heart of origin could be the heart of darkness. In a world filled with fire and fire-attributed energy, its world core was most likely a fire-attributed world core. It was impossible to obtain such origin stones or world cores. The origin stones of space and worlds were hidden in the depths of a world, but origin stones of other attributes could appear. However, they were incredibly rare, and it was recorded in ancient records that those without great fate would not be able to obtain them. Baidu search AI go female sign xiao say www.ichuxs. The most important function of the origin stone was that it was a medium for venerables to enter the saint realm. After entering the exalt realm, one had to attain the unity of the world and be able to control a portion of the energy of the world. If one wanted to enter the saint realm, then one had to grasp the energy of the laws. It was as difficult as ascending to the heavens for cultivators to enter the venerable realm and reach the state of being one with the world. Not even one out of tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of cultivators could do it. There was no need to mention how difficult it was to enter the saint realm. The energy of the laws was a form of manifestation of the ability of the heaven Tao. Yes, it's good to understand it. Night Sorrow took out his Fey Illustrated Handbook and searched for the Origin Stone's introduction and sketch. The Fey Illustrated Handbook only introduced the Origin Stone's characteristics and didn't have any pictures. It only stated that the Origin Stone contained a very strong origin attribute, and anyone who saw it would naturally recognize it. After returning Gu Dian to Aoi and putting away the Fey Encyclopedia, Night Sorrow pondered for a moment and felt that all of this was somewhat illusory. After entering this special space, he had to quickly raise his cultivation level to ensure his safety. Night Sorrow knew that his current core condensation realm cultivation base was not enough. After all, there were other forces disciples below the 4th stage. If a peak core condensation realm cultivator went in, it was possible for them to break through. Currently, Night Sorrow could kill early stage 4th order cultivators, but that was only for ordinary cultivators. The genius disciples of Holy Light Temple and Thunder Rumbling School were already powerful, so it was not easy to kill them. What are you thinking about? Yang Lei waved her hand in front of Night Sorrow's eyes. First 5 shots, I'm going to break through. Night Sorrow stood up and nodded to Yang Lei, Aoi, and Sikong Chuyu before returning to his room. If everything goes well, 13 might be able to enter the peak of the 7th level of the core formation realm when the sect opens the spatial passage. Yang Lei calculated for a moment and said, "That's right," Yang Lei said after calculating for a while. "That's right." Aoi nodded. There were still nearly 2 months left. After Night Sorrow broke through this time, he would reach the 6th level of core formation. If he went back to Danding Peak to train, it wouldn't be too difficult for him to achieve a level in 2 months. After entering the 7th level of the core condensation realm, eating the Yuan congealing pill would give one the strength of a peak 7th level core condensation realm cultivator. After spending more than half a day, Night Sorrow managed to condense his 6th true chi halo, raising his strength to the 6th level of core condensation. Feeling the true chi in his dantian, Night Sorrow continued to break through. He wanted to break through the 2nd level of the Myriad Dao Treasured Tome, which was to strengthen the bone marrow of his legs. Thinking of the pain, Night Sorrow shivered. Night Sorrow had already experienced the pain of strengthening his bone marrow, and it was simply unbearable. However, no matter how painful it was, Night Sorrow could not give up on cultivating the Myriad Dao Treasured Tome. While stabilizing the true chi in his dantian, Night Sorrow began to break through the Myriad Dao Treasured Tome. The energy entered the bone marrow through his legs, and waves of pain invaded Night Sorrow's mind. Sweat flowed down his forehead, and his body uncontrollably trembled. In order to resist the pain, Night Sorrow clenched his hands, clenched his teeth, and continued to control the energy to enter the bone marrow of his legs. In the middle of the night, Night Sorrow successfully strengthened the bone marrow of his legs. When he stood up, Night Sorrow found that his body was soaked in sweat. Night Sorrow went to the celestial water lake to take a bath. After changing his clothes, he began to practice the killing fist and chasing wind spear technique. The human body was a tree and the legs were poles. With the poles, it was much easier to exert force. After cultivating for 2 hours, Night Sorrow went back to stabilize his cultivation. After dawn, Night Sorrow went to the dining room. Hai Luo and Luo Wei had already prepared the dishes. Just as Night Sorrow sat down, Aoi Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu came in. Not bad. Core condensation stage is now level 6. You can still advance before the space channel opens. If you advance one more level, you can directly take the Yuan congealing pill. Yang Lei looked at Night Sorrow and said, I have a question that I don't understand. Holy Light Religion and Thunder Rumbling School have found the space channel, but the energy in their newly discovered channel is unstable, so they can't enter it. Why didn't our Medicine Valley enter it in advance? Night Sorrow asked. After the news came from there, Great Elder and Master went to the space channel to check it out. The same thing happened. The energy in the space channel is unstable again, so we can't enter it. We have to wait for the violent energy to stabilize before we can enter. Therefore there is no opportunity. Yang Lei said. That's good, it also gives me more time. Night Sorrow said with a smile. I estimate that there are not only these few space channels but also other entrances. Therefore the competition this time will be very fierce. Sikong Chuyu said with some worry. The competition is nothing. After all, everyone is under the 4th order. Even if there is a gap, the gap won't be too big. The situation inside the space is the hidden danger. Night Sorrow said his own opinion. After chatting with everyone for a while, Night Sorrow went to cultivate. In fact, he planned to go to Danding Cliff, but he didn't want to leave so soon. Therefore he met with Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu. Night Sorrow steadily cultivated, but the outside world was bustling with noise and excitement. The forces without a space channel in their territory were very annoyed. This was equivalent to losing an opportunity. Therefore, the forces with a space channel in their territory were preparing. After stabilizing his cultivation for 2 days, Night Sorrow said goodbye to the several women. He wanted to go to Danding Cliff to continue to improve his cultivation. He wanted to reach core condensation stage level 7 as soon as possible. Night Sorrow was 100 miles away from the Dragon Spring courtyard when he was stopped by Yin Shui and a masked woman. Both of them were standing in the air. Seeing this situation, Night Sorrow controlled Tianyu to land. Chapter 273. Genius 1 second. Remember Love Go/small? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Jumping down from Tianyu's back, Night Sorrow cupped his hands toward Yin Shui and the masked woman. I am Lan Yuxuan, the supervisor of Tianji Tower's headquarters. I originally came to see the situation in Eastern Profound Domain, but I happened to hear about the space channel, so I wanted to communicate with you. Lan Yuxuan, the masked woman, said. Let's find a place to sit down and talk. Yin Shui took Lan Yuxuan and Night Sorrow to the edge of an ancient forest. She waved her hand and cut down a few ancient trees, using the tree stumps as stools. Night Sorrow found a place to sit down. I found some ancient books and found that this space is likely to be an ancient void space. It appeared once before, 10,000 years ago. At that time, the space channel that appeared was full of evil aura, and no one could go in. This time, the evil aura is not very strong, so anyone below the 4th order can enter. Lan Yuxuan said. Is there anything I can do? If I can do it, then I will do my best. If not, then I am sorry. Night Sorrow said. Lan Yuxuan and Yin Shui looked at each other. They didn't expect Night Sorrow to be so direct, going straight to the point. Tianji Tower needs the Destiny Stone. That is, the Origin Stone. Lan Yuxuan said. You know the Origin Stone, so you know its value. Isn't this request unreasonable? Night Sorrow looked at Yin Shui and Lan Yuxuan and said. It is indeed a bit unreasonable, so let's talk. Lan Yuxuan narrowed her eyes and looked at Night Sorrow. She didn't expect that a third-order Night Sorrow could talk with her and Yin Shui without any pressure. First of all, it's hard to say whether there is the Origin Stone or not. Even if there is, what are my chances of getting it? Holy Light Temple and Thunder Rumbling Sect have a large number of third-order disciples. What if a peak third-order disciple breaks through? Their chances of getting the treasure are much higher than mine. Night Sorrow said. You are too modest. Tianji Tower has a very detailed record of your growth. Some time ago you were only at the 5th level of core condensation stage, but you killed more than one spirit-severing stage cultivator. Now that you are at the 6th level of core condensation stage, are you still afraid of a peak third-order opponent? Lan Yuxuan said, at the same time took out a piece of paper, which recorded Night Sorrow's situation. Night Sorrow didn't speak, because Tianji Tower's information was too. The Destiny Stone is very precious. Tianji Tower is very clear about this, so they won't take advantage of you. If you get the Water Attribute Destiny Stone, then Tianji Tower will exchange it with something of the same value. If you don't want to exchange, then you can lend it to Tianji Tower for a period of time for observation. After the observation, Tianji Tower will return it to you without any damage and give you some compensation. Lan Yuxuan said. If it's just for observation without any damage, then I have no objection, but let's talk about it after I get the Origin Stone. Night Sorrow said. He understood that Tianji Tower was indeed sincere. Okay, this time it's very dangerous. We don't care about the opponent, you can solve it yourself. However, the Void Fiend space is very scary. It's very difficult to replenish the energy consumed by the cultivator. It takes a long time to recover by taking medicinal pills. This is the Spirit Spring liquid provided by Tianji Tower. No matter how much energy you consume, you can fully recover within 3 drops. Lan Yuxuan handed over a jade bottle. Night Sorrow didn't stand on ceremony and directly took it in his hand and put it away. Be careful. Whether you get something or not, and whether you're willing to exchange with Tianji Tower, we don't want anything to happen to you. You're Tianji Tower's treasure. Lan Yuxuan looked at Night Sorrow and said. Thank you for your concern, Lord. Night Sorrow will be careful. Night Sorrow cupped his fists to Yin Shui and Lan Yuxuan. Okay, then you go do your thing. I'll be staying in Danding City for a while. Lan Yuxuan nodded to Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow cupped his fists to Lan Yuxuan and Yin Shui, then flashed onto Tianyu's back and left. Lord Supervisor, he deserves the 2 stars of the Heavenly Fate assessment, right? Deputy Pavilion Master Lei has the idea of giving him 3 stars, but he's worried that the headquarters will think we're unfair, Yin Shui said. Lan Yuxuan came to the Eastern Shen domain this time to verify whether Night Sorrow passed the 2 stars of the Heavenly Fate assessment. It's not too much to give him 3 stars. You know, he's only been cultivating for a year and a half. Not to mention his amazing speed, the most important thing is his ability to fight above his level. He's no longer just fighting above his level. He's at the 5th level of the core formation stage, and he's able to kill the divinity stage. With this, he's qualified to be given 3 stars. As for whether he can pass the headquarters review, that's another matter, Lan Yuxuan said. Our Eastern Shen domain plans to give him 3 stars when he enters the divinity stage, Yin Shui said. If he can come back from the alternate space safe and sound, we can give him 3 stars. I'm also willing to be a referrer, Lan Yuxuan said. Night Sorrow didn't care about the appearance of Lan Yuxuan and Yin Shui. He went straight back to Danding Cliff and began to cultivate. This time, Elder Su also said something to make Night Sorrow relax. After knowing about the opening of the alternate space, he understood that Night Sorrow needed to improve his cultivation quickly. Night Sorrow rushed to the 5,500-meter platform and began to cultivate directly. He could still break through a little more, but he didn't want to waste his energy. Sitting cross-legged, Night Sorrow used the pressure from Danding Cliff to stabilize his cultivation. A solid cultivation was the foundation. For example, if he used all his genuine chi to make a move, he might be able to make 10 moves if he had a solid foundation, but if he had a weak foundation he might not be able to make 7 moves. After stabilizing his cultivation for 2 days, Night Sorrow relaxed his body and mind and began to absorb energy with all his strength. On Wuwei Peak, Yi Shui and a young man were drinking tea together. "Yu, don't you plan to take first place on the pill list?" Yi Shui asked his youngest cousin in the family. "Lin Tianjue? I'll take some time to take him down. However, I heard from my disciples that the strongest person on the pill list isn't Lin Tianjue. It's someone called Night Sorrow. I haven't seen him fight, but I heard from my disciples about his experience. I feel that he's worthy of his reputation. You said. Indeed, but he's not ranked on the pill list. He doesn't need merit points or anything, but you do. Yishui looked at his stubborn cousin and said. So I plan to fight with him first, then deal with Lin Tianjue. Yu spoke his thoughts. You really don't need to fight with Night Sorrow. Just take down Lin Tianjue. Yishui said. Between Yu and Lin Tianjue, Yishui was very confident that his cousin could win. However, compared to Yu and Night Sorrow, Yishui didn't have the confidence. It wasn't that Yu wasn't outstanding enough, but that Night Sorrow was too heaven-defying. He was far more dangerous than Lin Tianjue, who was at the peak of the core condensation realm. Cousin, are you worried that I'll lose? Winning or losing isn't important. Even if I lose, I have to know where I lost. Only then can I improve. How can someone who doesn't dare to lose be qualified to talk about winning? I've asked around. Night Sorrow is cultivating at Danding Cliff. I plan to challenge him and Lin Tianjue at the beginning of next month, which is before the space passage opens. Yu stated his decision. Yishui didn't say anything about Yu's decision, because this was the insistence of cultivators. Night Sorrow cultivated for 7 or 8 days and reached the mid-stage of the core condensation realm. He felt that his cultivation speed was a little slow, so Night Sorrow surpassed him once again. Night Sorrow's climb caused a sensation once again, because Night Sorrow's height was the Medicine Valley's record. Q version 1 and version 2. Chapter 274. Genius remembers love in 1 second/small? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. At this time, Yu understood why his cousin suggested that he not fight with Night Sorrow. The gap was indeed big. He also often climbed the cliff to cultivate. 5,200 meters was his limit. It was far from the record of 5,400 meters. At this time, Night Sorrow was already moving towards 5,600 meters. This was the gap. After climbing 580 meters, Night Sorrow's true chi and the energy in his body were exhausted. Read novels for free. Forever. Free, relying on the strength of his body, Night Sorrow once again rushed 10 meters. At this time, sweat flowed down his cheeks smoothly. Feeling that he had indeed reached his limit, Night Sorrow's black jade energy burst out from his hands. He grabbed the stairs with both hands and quickly rushed towards the 5,600-meter platform. After reaching the 5,600-meter platform, Night Sorrow half-squatted on the stairs, panting and recovering his strength. After recovering his strength, Night Sorrow continued to meditate. Next, Night Sorrow disappointed the others because he stopped moving on the 5,600-meter platform and began to improve his cultivation. I'm not his opponent. Yu murmured in a low voice. After thinking for a while, Yu came to a conclusion. He was very confident in himself. He felt that even if he was not as good as Night Sorrow, he would not be defeated easily. But now he did not think so because the gap between them was really big. After seeing Night Sorrow's performance, Yu felt that it was very difficult for anyone to defeat Night Sorrow in the core condensation realm. At the very least he could not do it. Night Sorrow is an exception. The Medicine Valley has thousands of years of inheritance and there is only one like him. He is the favorite of this era and the nightmare of other geniuses. It should be a good thing to have such a fellow disciple. He is not only an opponent but also our pride. Elder Su said. Disciple understands. I'll go cultivate now. Yu bowed to Elder Su and went to climb the cliff. Staying at 5,600 meters, Night Sorrow relaxed his body and mind. He absorbed the energy passed down from Danding Cliff and refined it into his own. The disciples on Danding Cliff came and went. Only Night Sorrow remained. When he was thirsty he drank some wine. When he was hungry he took a fasting pill. In the blink of an eye nearly 20 days passed. There was still half a month before the spatial channel opened. Night Sorrow's cultivation base had reached the peak of the 6th rank, the peak of the 3rd level of the bone-forging realm. He had already strengthened the bones in his hands and feet. After strengthening the bone marrow in his hands and feet, Night Sorrow would be able to enter the 4th level of the bone-forging realm. Night Sorrow, who planned to make a breakthrough at Danding Cliff and stabilize his cultivation there, got up and drank a jar of wine. Looking at the sky, he saw that the platform had descended from 5,600 meters to 5,000 meters. The night at Danding Cliff was exceptionally quiet. The chirping of birds and insects could not be heard. There was only the sound of energy washing over the cliff. After sorting out his emotions, Night Sorrow began to make a breakthrough. The first thing he did was to make a breakthrough in his qi. After more than a month of cultivation at Danding Cliff, Night Sorrow's qi in his dantian was already saturated. Moreover, it was very condensed. This was the strength of Danding Cliff. Condensing the 7th qi halo was not difficult for Night Sorrow. The difficulty of cultivating qi was in the accumulation of qi and the advancement of a realm. Advancing was not difficult. As long as you accumulated enough qi, advancing would not be a problem. After 2 hours, Night Sorrow successfully condensed the 7th qi halo and advanced to the 7th level of the core formation realm. There was still enough time. Night Sorrow began to strengthen the bone marrow in his hands and feet. As he strengthened his bones, Night Sorrow discovered a problem. The energy in his body could not pass through his hands that had been strengthened by the profound jade spiritual energy and his body's energy. Night Sorrow was a little anxious. If he couldn't strengthen the bone marrow in his hands, then he wouldn't be able to continue cultivating the myriad Dao Tome. He would be stuck. Unwilling to fail, Night Sorrow tried to use his energy to break through the bone marrow again. After several attempts, Night Sorrow's mind moved slightly. He controlled his body's energy and the profound jade spiritual energy to break through the bone marrow in his hands. Along with the intense pain, Night Sorrow's heart was filled with joy. This method was effective. Then he could continue to break through. Enduring the freezing pain, Night Sorrow continued to strengthen the bone marrow in his hands. At the same time, he decided that it would be better to have a short period of pain than a long period of pain. The energy in his body also began to strengthen the bone marrow in his feet. Night Sorrow's body trembled like a sieve. He used all his energy to resist the invasion of the pain. Fortunately, it didn't take long. Before dawn, Night Sorrow completed his breakthrough to the 3rd stage of the bone forging realm and entered the 4th stage. After the successful breakthrough, Night Sorrow didn't move. He has been stabilizing his cultivation. After daybreak, Night Sorrow started climbing again. He returned to the 5,600-meter position. After his true energy and the myriad Dao's treasured tome had leveled up, it was much easier for Night Sorrow to reach the 5,600-meter mark. At 5,600 meters, using the energy passed down from Danding Cliff to stabilize his cultivation, Night Sorrow felt much better than before. When his cultivation was completely stabilized, Night Sorrow took out the yuan congealing pill and swallowed it and began to cultivate. Under the pressure of Danding Cliff's energy, taking the yuan congealing pill has minimal drawbacks. After more than 2 days, Night Sorrow completely absorbed and refined the yuan congealing pill, making his cultivation reach the peak of 7th level core condensation. After stabilizing his cultivation for 2 days, when Night Sorrow was about to break through again, he was stopped by Elder Su. Night Sorrow needs to improve his strength, but after a month of continuous high-intensity cultivation, Elder Su felt that he can't continue and needs to stop it. He could not go against the wishes of the sect elders. Yishang reluctantly left Danding Cliff. After pondering for a moment, Yishang went to the Merit Hall. Night Sorrow said to the Merit Hall elder that he wants to challenge the pill list. Okay, this sect wants to make a notice, who do you want to challenge? But each time you can't exceed level 10. You need a few days to prepare, after all, there are some people who need to be notified. The Merit Hall elder said to Night Sorrow. This disciple intends to challenge the pill list's first rank Lin Tianjua. As for who needs to be challenged from behind, Elder Su can arrange it. Night Sorrow directly expressed his intention. The last time Lin Tianjua despised him at Danding Cliff, Night Sorrow still remembered it in his heart. At that time he didn't attack because his cultivation wasn't enough. Okay, recently EU will also challenge the pill list. You can wait until one day, there are still 5 days left, I will arrange it quickly, you can still be placed together. The elder said. Night Sorrow nodded and left. He went to Danding Palace to meet Yu. Don't be too anxious, you are not far from the breakthrough, cultivation needs to be slow. Seeing Night Sorrow's progress, Yu was very satisfied. Night Sorrow's cultivation speed was very fast and very solid. This disciple understands, disciple will take his leave. After a few words, Night Sorrow bowed to Yu. When he left the hall, Night Sorrow saw the Great Elder. After greeting the Great Elder, Night Sorrow left. Chapter 275. Genius 1 second. Remember love go/little? Xuanhuan provides you with wonderful novels to read. He didn't say anything about challenging the alchemy rankings? Yu asked in surprise. The elder of the Merit Hall informed me that Night Sorrow will be challenging the alchemy rankings with EU in 5 days. It seems like before the space tunnel opens, the alchemy rankings will have to be rearranged. EU and 13 will both have good rankings, the Great Elder said with a smile. Yu nodded. He knew that Night Sorrow, who was at the peak of the 7th level of the core formation realm, should have no opponents in the core formation realm. There was nothing to worry about. Night Sorrow rode Tianyu to the North Pole Peak and drank with Qin Zhen. Qin Zhen's cultivation had increased at a shocking rate. He was already at the peak of the 6th level of the element gathering realm. After drinking, Night Sorrow rode Tianyu back to Longquan Courtyard. Aoi and the others were happy to see Night Sorrow. 13. You've reached the peak of the 7th level of the core formation realm. Why didn't you break through before coming back? Aoi asked. Elder Su chased me back, but it didn't delay my breakthrough. It's the same if I break through after coming back. I just need 2 more days to stabilize. I'll be challenging the alchemy rankings in 5 days, Night Sorrow said. Very good. That bitch Lin Tianjue needs to be dealt with. Yang Lei also remembered Lin Tianjue's provocation. After eating, Yang Lei and Xikong Chuyu both returned to their own pavilions. Night Sorrow didn't know what to do. Who should he accompany first? Would the other one be angry? Always saw Night Sorrow's confusion. You have to think about the other side of the matter. They both want to give you and the other one a chance. How about this? I'll go accompany your 9th senior sister. You go see Xikong first. Aoi then went to Yang Lei's attic. Night Sorrow hesitated for a moment before going to Xikong Chuyu's place. Night Sorrow, go chat with 9th senior sister. Come back later, Xikong Chuyu said. Look at G% on D chapter, %. 6th senior sister and 9th senior sister went to chat. I'll accompany you for a while. Night Sorrow sat down and said. Xikong Chuyu nodded and leaned into Night Sorrow's arms. Have you been working hard recently? No, I'm filled with fighting spirit when I think about you, Night Sorrow said in a low voice. The two hugged each other and chatted casually. After chatting for a while, Xikong Chuyu took the initiative to kiss Night Sorrow. I know your intentions. Hurry up and accompany 9th senior sister. I want to cultivate. I want to break through to the 5th stage soon. Love, go little, say W Chu. Nodding, he hugged Xikong Chuyu tightly again. Night Sorrow went to Yang Lei's attic. When Night Sorrow arrived, Aoi had just left. After entering the attic, Night Sorrow saw Yang Lei with her chin on her hand, deep in thought. 9th senior sister. Night Sorrow sat beside Yang Lei and said, Why aren't you with Chuyu? Come and accompany me tomorrow. Don't make her feel uncomfortable. Yang Lei got up and pushed Night Sorrow. Chuyu asked me to accompany you. Night Sorrow said with a smile. Then can you hug me to sleep tonight? Don't cultivate. Yang Lei looked up at Night Sorrow and said. Night Sorrow nodded. He was very satisfied with having gentle and considerate women like Yang Lei and Xikong Chuyu by his side. After hanging up his robe, Night Sorrow hugged Yang Lei, who had also taken off her outer robe and went to bed. The two lay together and chatted. Yang Lei liked to rest on one of Night Sorrow's arms and hug Night Sorrow. Yang Lei moved a few times from time to time, which made Night Sorrow a little uncomfortable. His body instinctively reacted. Baidu search AI go female sign xiao say www.ichuxs.com 13 Are you up to no good? Yang Lei's voice trembled. 9th senior sister, I didn't do it on purpose. Night Sorrow was a little embarrassed. 9th senior sister knows that you are like this because you like her. However, it is not appropriate for us to be together first. After all, you and Chuyu came first. You can take Chuyu's side and I can do whatever you want. Yang Lei said apologetically. Night Sorrow smiled. 9th senior sister, don't say that. Let's just chat. 13. Tomorrow 9th senior sister will help you with Chuyu's work. Take her down as soon as possible. This way the 3 of us can be together. Yang Lei said excitedly. 9th senior sister, is this appropriate? Night Sorrow did not expect Yang Lei to say this. Yang Lei hammered Night Sorrow's chest. What's inappropriate about it? After chatting for a while, Night Sorrow was a little tired and fell asleep. Early in the morning, Night Sorrow started to cultivate his spear art, fist art and movement art. He wanted his battle art to catch up with his cultivation. When he met with Aoi and Xikong Chuyu, Night Sorrow was a little embarrassed. However, Aoi and Xikong Chuyu did not say anything. After drinking a cup of tea together, Night Sorrow went into seclusion to try to break through to level 8. This way he would have time to stabilize his cultivation and participate in the pill ranking challenge. When Night Sorrow went into seclusion, Yang Lei and Xikong Chuyu went to Skywater Lake. Yang Lei said something to Xikong Chuyu who was standing beside her. Then Xikong Chuyu's face and ears turned red. 9th senior sister, what are you talking about? Don't be embarrassed. If you and Night Sorrow are really together, your family can only accept it. Jiyu's family will not force you anymore. Xianxia did not say anything. She knew that Yang Lei's words made sense, but it was too embarrassing. Qiu, if you don't get together with 13, we can't be together. Are you planning to let me die alone? Yang Lei asked with a smile. Ninth senior sister, these things are better left to nature. How can I say it out loud? Xianxia was embarrassed by Yang Lei's words. We are good sisters, a family. That's why I'm telling you this. In the outside world, I'm a prestigious city lord. Yang Lei said with a smile. Night Sorrow's breakthrough was very smooth. In the evening he successfully broke through. However, he did not come out and was still stabilizing his cultivation. Ninth junior sister, 13's cultivation speed is too fast for us. Always said with a bitter smile. In less than 2 years, Night Sorrow's cultivation went from nothing to the 8th level of the core formation realm. Not to mention other places, this speed was unheard of in the history of the Medicine Valley for thousands of years. If this goes on, he won't be far from entering the spirit-severing stage. His cultivation is solid, unlike us who get stuck every time we break through. Which one of us hasn't been stuck for a few years? He's already in the peak of the essence-gathering realm without stabilizing his cultivation. It's no wonder his cultivation speed is fast, Yang Lei said. His body is strong and he got special privileges on Danding Cliff. Coupled with his incomparable hard work, he laid the foundation for his cultivation to improve quickly. I'm going to take a look at the alchemy ranking challenge. Are you going? Alway looked at Yang Lei and Xianxia and asked. 6th senior sister, if you're going, how can I not go? I'll take Qiu with me, Yang Lei said. That's right. As a senior sister, I'm already so nervous. You're a family. It's no wonder you're nervous. Alway said with a smile. In a pavilion on Tianyue Peak, Lin Tianjue's face was gloomy. Qin Zhan and the others were also there. Chapter 276. Genius 1 second. Remember love/go/little? We provide you with interesting novels to read. Lin Tianjue glared at Qin Zhan. He didn't like Qin Zhan. If it weren't for him, he wouldn't have been slapped by Yang Lei. Qin Zhan and the rest knew that Night Sorrow's cultivation was lower than Lin Tianjue's, so they had confidence in Lin Tianjue. They didn't go to Danding Cliff to cultivate, so they didn't know about Night Sorrow's recent situation. However, Lin Tianjue was very clear. Don't cause trouble in the future. The elixir list challenge is fair and above board. Don't put too much importance on winning or losing. If the other peaks can unite against outsiders, why can't we? Luo Daoyuan came to Lin Tianjue's pavilion. Wanyong si jiodi? Exempt #DFN look little, speak. Lin Tianjue and the rest stood up. If you know you're not as good as others, then work hard to catch up. Look at the difference. Qin Zhan, you were a disciple on the Yuan roll. Night Sorrow hasn't even entered the sect yet. Now he has already challenged the elixir list. What about you? Are you still lying on the ground? Luo Daoyuan glanced at Qin Zhan. Luo Daoyuan liked to scheme, but he had to look at the big picture of the sect. If Night Sorrow could win glory for the sect, he wouldn't scheme against him. This was his principle. Lin Tianjue and the rest bowed. They didn't dare to disobey Luo Daoyuan's orders. Tianjue, don't lose your momentum in the elixir list challenge. We're all from the same sect. It doesn't matter if you win or lose. Learn from Night Sorrow and be more domineering. Luo Daoyuan instructed his disciples. After Yi Shang stabilized his cultivation, the few of them sat on the demon beasts and flew back to Danding Peak. They returned directly to the little house in the bamboo forest. Not long after they returned, Gong Xian and the rest arrived. You're back. Why don't you go to the main hall? Gong Xian said after sitting down. Eldest senior brother, don't be angry. We just came back. Don't we have to tidy up? Always said with a smile. 13 level 8 core condensation is enough. Take back the first place. Huan looked at Night Sorrow and said. 3rd senior brother, I will work hard. Night Sorrow nodded at Xuanhuan. Drinking was inevitable when the two of them were together. In the evening, Yang Lei suggested that they go to the bamboo forest peak to rest. Xianxia nodded, and Night Sorrow had no objections either. The three of them walked back to the bamboo house on Bamboo Forest Peak. Night Sorrow, this is your territory. Get someone to renovate this place tomorrow. Otherwise, our guests won't have a place to stay. Seeing that Night Sorrow had 3 bamboo houses, Yang Lei frowned. Night Sorrow was a second-generation disciple, so he should have some special treatment. The other Taishan Peak disciples' practice areas were much better than Night Sorrow's. Love Gone Little Seika, I'm not here often, so I didn't make any special arrangements. Eldest senior brother didn't think about this either, Night Sorrow said with a smile. Yang Lei nodded. She knew that Gong Xian and the others definitely didn't ignore Night Sorrow. Perhaps they felt that Night Sorrow didn't come back often, so there was no need for him to do so. That night, Yang Lei and Xikong Chuyu cultivated in the same room, while Night Sorrow had his own room. After resting for 2 days, Night Sorrow and the two girls came to Dao Seeking Cliff. Xikong Chuyu put on a veil. When Night Sorrow and the other two arrived, many people were already there. Yang Lei pulled Xikong Chuyu to the third-generation disciples of Taishan Peak. However, the two of them were still very obvious. The main thing was their aura, which the third-generation disciples couldn't compare to. Many people came today, including the disciples of the Yuan role. They also wanted to watch the battle between the disciples of the alchemy role. Jianghu was also there. Usually he didn't need to care about such things, but Night Sorrow was his last disciple. Most of the disciples of the alchemy role were there, and they stayed in a special area. According to the requirements, only those who had to participate in the battle had to come. However, the battle of the alchemy role was also an opportunity for others to gain practical experience. The first battle was between Yu and Lin Tianjue. Yu challenged Lin Tianjue. Both of them cultivated sword techniques, and their sword techniques were very exquisite. After a few rounds of battle, Lin Tianjue was suppressed. He was at a disadvantage in terms of attack strength and speed. After fighting for 10 minutes, Yu finished testing the waters. Yu's attack changed. He waved his sword, creating afterimages, and forced Lin Tianjue to retreat step by step. Then Lin Tianjue used his battle technique, Tianjue sword technique. However, he couldn't reverse the situation. He only lasted a little longer. After Lin Tianjue was defeated, Yu took the 10th place. Yu became the first on the alchemy roll. Then another disciple came out to challenge. Night Sorrow understood that the Medicine Valley had arranged the challenges on this day. However, this disciple of the alchemy roll didn't succeed. While he increased his strength, his opponent's strength also increased. Elder Zhu, who was in charge of guarding the Dao Seeking Cliff, looked at Night Sorrow. Challenger, Night Sorrow, please enter the arena. The challenged Ming Li, please come out. Night Sorrow walked into the arena with the reincarnation spear in his hand. Uncle Master Yi, you killed a Tier 4 cultivator at the level 5 core formation realm. I admit defeat. After Ming Li came out, he cupped his hands at Night Sorrow and bowed to Elder Zhu. Ming Li admits defeat. Night Sorrow is ranked 91st on the alchemy roll. Ming Li, you can use your merit points to continue the challenge. Elder Zhu announced the result. After the first round, Elder Zhu announced the 81st contestant to enter the arena. The 81st contestant on the alchemy roll was a female disciple of Crepe Myrtle. She had heard about Night Sorrow's battle results from her senior sisters and uncle masters. She knew that she was no match for him and admitted defeat directly. The next few contestants also admitted defeat directly. When it came to the 51st contestant, Chao Yang, a disciple of Danding Peak, accepted the challenge. Chao Yang had seen Night Sorrow fight at the Supremacy Celebration Conference. He didn't believe that Night Sorrow's combat strength could keep up with his cultivation level. Chao Yang cultivated the Scorching Sun Saber technique of the Medicine Valley. The Scorching Sun Saber technique was very domineering and its saber aura was swift and violent. Even if one's cultivation level was higher, one might not be able to suppress it. Cupping his hands towards Night Sorrow, Chao Yang took 2 steps forward and slashed towards Night Sorrow with his saber. Night Sorrow took a step forward and stabbed his reincarnation spear forward. The body of the spear was naturally imbued with the Vibration Sutra. Ding! Chao Yang's powerful saber was instantly repelled by the reincarnation spear. Night Sorrow quickly extended his right hand and broke the knot on Chao Yang's battle robe. Chao Yang took a few steps back and looked at the broken knot on his robe in a daze. A level 9 core condensation realm cultivator was defeated by Night Sorrow, who was a level 8 core condensation realm cultivator, in one move. This was an exchange of pointers. If it was a battle of life and death, he would have been killed in one move. Thank you for letting me win. Night Sorrow cupped his hands towards the dazed Chao Yang. Martial uncle, can you tell me what kind of spear art you used just now? Chao Yang, who had regained his senses, bowed towards Night Sorrow. Wind-chasing spear art. However, I changed it a little. I added vibration force to the original foundation. Night Sorrow didn't hide anything from Chao Yang. Chao Yang am sincerely convinced. Chao Yang bowed towards Elder Zhu and retreated. Following which, the 41st, 31st, 21st and 11th contestants on the elixir list admitted defeat. Night Sorrow, you can directly challenge the first contestant. Elder Zhu looked at Night Sorrow and said. Chapter 277. Genius remembers love in 1 second/small? We provide you with interesting novels to read. Are you targeting me on purpose? Lin Tianjue looked at Night Sorrow with eyes full of anger. Lin Tianjue originally thought that Night Sorrow's challenge had nothing to do with him. He was waiting for Night Sorrow to finish his challenge and challenge the second and third place. That way he would still have a decent ranking. But now he, who was only one rank higher than Night Sorrow, was being challenged. Then why? Night Sorrow asked Lin Tianjue. Lin Tianjue didn't know how to answer Night Sorrow's question. Then I'll answer you. Those who are friendly to me, I will be friendly to them. Those who look down on me, I will beat them back. Lin Tianjun didn't say the reason, but Yi Shang did. Lin Tianjue's face turned green and red. He couldn't help but feel embarrassed. Junior brother Knight, he already knows his mistake. We are all from the same sect. Don't make things difficult for him, Luo Daoyuan, who came with Lin Tianjue, said. Senior brother Luo, Night Sorrow values our friendship as fellow disciples. But has he? His temperament is bad. If he didn't mention that I was targeting him, this would just be a simple exchange of pointers, Night Sorrow said. Luo Daoyuan nodded. He knew that Night Sorrow's words made sense. Lin Tianjue's temperament was indeed bad. This was just a simple exchange of pointers. It was a problem to think so far ahead. At this moment, Lin Tianjue had no choice but to leave the arena. He held his sword and went to the center of the arena. Make your move. Night Sorrow said to Lin Tianjue as he shook the reincarnation spear in his right hand. Quick, let's go. Lin Tianjue's body flashed. He went around Night Sorrow's front and attacked Night Sorrow from the side. He already knew that Night Sorrow was very strong in head-on combat and didn't dare to attack head-on. Night Sorrow's right arm shook. No matter how Lin Tianjue flashed or attacked from any direction, the reincarnation spear was always in front of him. After sensing Lin Tianjue's speed, Night Sorrow executed Soaring Dragon Steps and began his attack. As Night Sorrow executed the Soaring Dragon Steps, Lin Tianjue's speed was no longer enough. In an instant he was forced to retreat by Night Sorrow. Not daring to fight Night Sorrow head-on, and not being able to keep up with his speed, Lin Tianjue's battle was very ugly. Night Sorrow decided to end the battle when he saw that Lin Tian did not want to fight him head-on. He channeled the energy of the 10,000 Tao Tome into his legs. Night Sorrow's speed suddenly increased as the myriad Tao Tome's energy poured into him. He caught up with Lin Tianjue in an instant and thrust his spear at Lin Tianjue's throat. Baidu search AI go female sign xiao say www.ichuxs. It was too fast. Night Sorrow's speed increased by 50%. His full speed attack left behind a few afterimages. In addition, the speed of the reincarnation spear's attack was also extremely fast. Lin Tianjue had no chance to dodge at all. In a hurry, Lin Tianjue swung his sword to block. Ding! With a crisp sound, Lin Tianjue's long sword was sent flying by the reincarnation spear. Night Sorrow's reincarnation spear stopped an inch away from Lin Tianjue's throat. After glancing at Lin Tianjue, Night Sorrow retreated to his original position. Lin Tianjue's face was very ugly. He, who was originally ranked first on the elixir rankings, didn't even have the power to fight back in front of Night Sorrow. The difference was too big. I Gong Xiao say WQ, following which, Elder Zhu announced the results of the competition. Night Sorrow reached the 10th place and Lin Tianjue dropped 1 place. I'm not your opponent, but I still want to know the difference between us. At this moment EU stepped out. He had to step out. Even if Night Sorrow didn't challenge him, he had to step out. It was embarrassing to be ranked first without relying on one's strength. Night Sorrow nodded at EU and took a few steps back. What could he say? Was it good to know the difference between them? Was it a chance to gain practical experience? It didn't seem appropriate. After Elder Zhu announced the start of the competition, EU attacked Night Sorrow with his sword. His sword technique was very fast. It was the famous fast sword technique of the Medicine Valley, the Thousand Feather Sword technique. EU's sword was very fast, but Night Sorrow's reincarnation spear was even faster. Every time EU attacked, he would be interrupted by Night Sorrow. After fighting for half a cup of tea's time, EU retreated. Thank you for your guidance. EU knew that speed wasn't Night Sorrow's strongest point. Even so, he was still defeated in the field that he was good at. After EU and Night Sorrow separated, Elder Zhu announced the results and rankings of the competition. Since I can't get the first place, I'll try the second place, EU muttered softly and told Elder Zhu that he wanted to challenge the second place. The second place was Gu Lin, a disciple of the Cloud Sea Peak. Although he knew that EU was strong, he didn't admit defeat immediately. He only did so after exchanging pointers for a while. After getting the second place, EU returned to his seat on the elixir rankings to rest. Lin Tianjue also wanted to challenge. No matter what, he couldn't fall out of the top 10. Elder Zhu, this rule isn't very reasonable. Those who were defeated still have the strength of the top 10. They have to fight their way back. Those who were defeated still have to fight their way back. It's very troublesome, Xianhu said. That's indeed the case. Valley Master, do you have any good suggestions? Elder Zhu bowed to Xianhu. I feel that in the future the loser should be demoted by one place. After all, those who can enter the top 10 are all capable, Xianhu said after pondering for a moment. Valley Master's suggestion is very good. It can be approved in the next Elders meeting. Elder Zhu nodded. He felt that Xianhu's suggestion was very reasonable. After all, the top few disciples who were defeated and fell out of the top 10 still had to challenge their opponents. Their strength was there for all to see. Next, Lin Tianjue defeated the third-place disciple and took the third place. Gu Lin, are you still going to challenge? Or are you waiting for the new rules? Elder Zhu looked at Gu Lin and asked. Then I'll wait for the new rules. Gu Lin and EU's battle was very intense. Even if they recovered their true chi, they weren't at their peak. Knight Sorrow and EU could easily defeat the top 10 disciples of the pill leaderboard, but he couldn't. Seeing that there were no more challengers, Elder Zhu announced the end of the challenge. Knight Sorrow went to Xianhu and bowed. After nodding to Knight Sorrow, Xianhu stood up and said to the disciples of the pill leaderboard, Not bad. Disciples of the pill leaderboard, gather at the pill cauldron square in 2 days. Inform each other. The space tunnel was about to open. Only core condensation cultivators could enter. The pill leaderboard disciples were the only choice. After everyone left, Knight Sorrow and the others returned to the Taishan Peak. Very domineering. The first place of the pill leaderboard is a piece of cake. Gong Xian looked at Knight Sorrow and said. He felt proud to have a junior brother like Knight Sorrow. The space tunnel is about to open. Outside, senior brother and senior sister can keep an eye on you. Once you enter the alternate space, you'll have to rely on yourself. Xuanhuan's eyes were filled with worry. Knight Sorrow nodded. I'll be careful. Gong Xian looked at Knight Sorrow. Also, you have to remember one thing. Demonic beasts are your enemies, but the people around you can also be your enemies. It's fine if you don't gain anything, but once you gain something, anything can happen. Remember, don't go easy on anyone who wants to harm you. Chapter 278. Genius remembers love in 1 second/small? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. No matter who it is, as long as they have ill intentions towards you, you don't have to be polite. If anything happens, senior brother and senior sister will support you, Yang Lei said to Knight Sorrow. 13 eldest senior brother and 9th senior sister are right. However, it is still good to unite some forces in there. After all, you may encounter people from other factions. You have to be careful, always said. Knight Sorrow nodded. He knew that his senior brother and senior sister were doing this for his own good. We have to prepare what we should and shouldn't. No one knows what's going on in that alternate dimension, Wuxi reminded Yishan. Thank you, senior brother and senior sister. I will be careful. Knight Sorrow nodded. Eldest senior brother, when you have time, arrange for people to build 2 bamboo buildings for 13th Bamboo Forest Peak. We have a few guests there. We don't even have a room to rest, Yang Lei said. This is eldest senior brother's mistake. Previously, 13 was in the Dragon Spring courtyard and was not in a hurry to make arrangements. We will deal with this later, Gong Xian said with a smile. Then everyone dispersed. Alway pulled Knight Sorrow to the Bamboo Forest Pavilion and asked Knight Sorrow to pack some wine. Then Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu accompanied Knight Sorrow to Grass Valley Town to buy some jerky and daily necessities. After buying everything, they returned to Bamboo Forest Peak. At night, Yu and the Great Elder came to Bamboo Forest Peak mainly to give Knight Sorrow the Cauldron Spirit Liquid. This was Knight Sorrow's treatment this year. Your master and I have been discussing whether to let you go or not. If you go, it will be very dangerous. If you don't go, you will miss out on the opportunity. What do you think? The Great Elder said to Knight Sorrow. Disciple has decided to go. Perhaps there will be danger or even death, but this is also an opportunity. Knight Sorrow made his decision. That's fine. Let's be prepared. The Great Elder nodded. He was conflicted in his heart. He really didn't want Knight Sorrow to take the risk. After cultivating for 2 days, Knight Sorrow went to the Pill Cauldron Plaza to gather, because today was the day of departure. 9th senior sister Sikong Chuyu, wait for me here. Chuyu, I'll be waiting for the good news of your breakthrough, Knight Sorrow said to Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu. Night Sorrow gave a portion of the medicinal cauldron spirit liquid to Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu. Originally, he intended to give all of it to them, but the two of them only asked for a portion. They knew that Night Sorrow's trip to the alternate dimension this time was very dangerous. Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu both nodded. "We'll send you to the Pill Tripod Square." Night Sorrow didn't refuse. The three of them sat on a flying demonic beast and arrived at the Pill Tripod Square. Yang 7 Jio 7 Zhuo Fei free. At the Pill Tripod Square, the higher-ups of the Medicine Valley were all present. Night Sorrow's senior brothers and senior sisters of the Taishin Peak were also present. "I've already told you about the alternate dimension. No one knows what's going on inside. There are opportunities and dangers. You disciples on the pill ranking can choose to go or not," Xianxia said to the disciples on the pill ranking in the square. Subsequently, some people withdrew. After all, many people were afraid of the unknown. You have to be careful. I have a few words to tell you. This time, a lot of elites have entered the alternate dimension. Holy Light Religion and Thunder Rumbling Sect have found the space channel. In addition, Red Cloud Sect and Nebula Sect have also found a way to enter. Golden Flame Sect, Free and Unfettered Sect, and Southern Dipper Sect's core condensation disciples have also cooperated to send their disciples in. Therefore, this time, the situation is unprecedentedly complicated. Unity is necessary and internal strife is prohibited. Xianxia looked at the Medicine Valley's core condensation disciples and said, "This is very important. If internal strife is found, the sect will not let it go easily." The Great Elder repeated. After the speech, Xianxia, the Great Elder, and the higher-ups of the sect set off with the core condensation disciples. Because some of them didn't have a flying demonic beast, they needed the help of others. The group soon arrived at the entrance of the alternate dimension. Only cultivators and demonic beasts below rank 4 can pass through here. If they exceed this level, it will cause a collapse. None of you have a rank 4 tamed beast, so let's not talk about this problem. The other most important thing is that the space channel can only be stable for half a year according to the previous rules. That is to say, after half a year you must come out. The Great Elder reminded the Medicine Valley's disciples. "Valley Master, Great Elder, this disciple has a question. What if I break through to the Severed Soul stage inside? Can I still come out?" You asked. "It doesn't matter. The energy of this space channel is gushing towards the outside. It will not cause any energy impact." The Great Elder said. "You can go in." Xianxia waved his hand and said. Following Xianxia's words, the core condensation disciples rushed inside. One by one they were swallowed by a beast. Everyone went in, leaving only Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow bowed to Xianxia and the Great Elder. He cupped his hands to his senior brother and senior sister. He glanced at Yang Lei and the masked Sikong Chuyu again before entering the space channel and disappearing in front of everyone's eyes. "You can all go back. During this time, the Fourth Elder and I will guard the space channel here." The Great Elder waved his hand to the Medicine Valley's disciples who came to see them off. Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu left together. "Chuyu 13 is gone. Why do I feel so empty?" Yang Lei was a little depressed. "Me too. We can only wait for him to come out." Sikong Chuyu said. "Let's wait for him together." Yang Lei pulled Sikong Chuyu's arm and nodded seriously. After entering the space channel, Night Sorrow felt the pressure. The tyrannical aura rushed towards him. He rushed forward for a while before rushing out and arriving in a new world. Looking up at the gray and tyrannical world, Night Sorrow frowned. He felt very depressed and inexplicably irritated. "The aura here is different from our world. Everyone needs to calm down. The aura here will affect your state of mind," Yu said. Gu Lin and the others nodded. "Now let's talk. What should we do?" Yu asked. The dozens of people who came in looked at each other. The oppressive aura made everyone lose their minds. "It's safer to stay together, but at the same time, we will lose the opportunity to find opportunities," Gu Lin said. "Night Sorrow, what do you think?" Yu was in the same generation as Night Sorrow and did not need to call him Uncle Master like the others. Gu Lin has a point. "I think it depends on the person. Those who think safety is the most important should go in a group. Those who want to explore can go alone," Night Sorrow said. "Everyone, let's follow this arrangement. Those who are slightly weaker will form a group. Those who feel that they can avoid the risk can act on their own," Yu said and moved forward. He expressed his attitude. He wanted to fly alone. Chapter 279. Genius 1 second. Remember Love Go Divided by Xiao? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. After Night Sorrow and Yu left, Lin Qinjue thought for a moment and called 2 disciples from the Tianyue Peak to advance. He also wanted to advance alone, but he was afraid of the danger. Baidu search AI go female sign xiao say www.ichuxs.com. After that, the other disciples on the pill ranking formed a group. Night Sorrow didn't care about this and continued to advance. The violent energy wind wreaked havoc and the trees swayed back and forth. Night Sorrow looked up at the sky and felt that the sky here was very low, and the atmosphere was very oppressive. As they advanced, Night Sorrow tried to absorb the spiritual energy of heaven and earth to see if he could cultivate. As he absorbed the energy of heaven and earth, Night Sorrow found a problem. The chi in his dantian couldn't absorb the energy in his body. This energy was too violent. However, the myriad Tao Tomes operation gave Night Sorrow a pleasant surprise. After the violent energy entered his body, it was suppressed by the energy in his flesh and bones. It stabilized and was then assimilated and absorbed. This situation made Night Sorrow very happy. After refining the energy, he used it to strengthen the dragon bones on his back. After advancing for a while, Night Sorrow let Tianyu out. The main reason was to let Tianyu get used to the environment here. After coming out, Tianyu cried out, showing that he wasn't used to it. Night Sorrow took out a beast pill and gave it to Tianyu. Not being able to absorb energy was a great test for Tianyu. Translator. Endless Fantasy Translation Editor. Endless Fantasy Translation. Night Sorrow brought Tianyu forward to explore. They didn't advance very quickly. Everything here was very strange. The trees had red leaves and branches, and the grass on the ground was blood red. He could clearly feel the violent energy aura, but he couldn't see or touch it. It gave Night Sorrow a strange feeling. Yishang felt as if he had returned to Bamboo Garden Village and entered the wasteland to hunt. It was familiar yet unfamiliar. Along the way, small animals often appeared. They were all at the first stage of cultivation, but they were very violent. They did not care about Night Sorrow's cultivation level and directly charged at him. In the end, they were all killed by Night Sorrow's spear. However, Night Sorrow also understood the situation here. The demonic beasts were not afraid of death. At night, Night Sorrow built a shack on an old tree. Tianyu squatted on a branch of an old tree to rest. Since he couldn't absorb the energy of heaven and earth to cultivate the Holy Cauldron scripture, Night Sorrow ate the best quality spirit congealing pills to cultivate. In the cultivation of the Myriad Tao Treasure Book, Night Sorrow not only absorbed violent energy to cultivate, but also ate the Dragon Bone Forging pill. In the Void Fiend space at night, the violent aura was even heavier. The moon in the sky seemed to be covered with a layer of blood, full of strangeness. In the middle of the night, Night Sorrow felt a dangerous aura and woke up from the state of meditation. Night Sorrow went out of the shack and stood on the branch of the old tree looking around. This investigation made Night Sorrow's scalp numb. The ground more than 3 feet away from his feet was full of dense blood-colored ants. The ants were the size of a fist. The ants had surrounded the old tree and climbed up the tree. Night Sorrow quickly put away the animal skin supporting the shack, summoned Tianyu, landed on Tianyu's back, and then rode Tianyu away. Night Sorrow knew that this was because he felt the danger. If he didn't discover it in advance, he would be finished if he was bitten by this kind of vampire ant. This kind of ant was poisonous. After being bitten, the whole body would be paralyzed, and the consequence would be to be directly devoured by the ant. After changing the location, Night Sorrow continued to meditate and cultivate. Wandering around in this kind of night was no different from seeking death. After cultivating until dawn, Night Sorrow drank a few mouthfuls of wine, ate a fasting pill and fed Tianyu a beast pill. After that, he continued to move forward with Tianyu. There were towering old trees everywhere, but the gaps between the old trees were very big. The other plants couldn't compete with the old trees for nutrients, so naturally they couldn't survive. While moving forward, Night Sorrow didn't go aimlessly. He went in the direction where the energy was the densest. He didn't worry about getting lost because he had experience surviving in the wasteland. Tianyu, who was following beside Night Sorrow, didn't stay idle. He hunted the birds that he saw, and from time to time he would peck out 2 scorpions from the ground. Maybe it was because of the special aura, but after killing the birds and scorpions, Tianyu directly ate them. As Night Sorrow went deeper, all kinds of demonic beasts appeared. However, they couldn't withstand Night Sorrow and Tianyu's attacks. In the process of moving forward, Night Sorrow collected a lot of rare materials. The main ingredient of a rank 4 profound meditation pill was the profound meditation grass. The main ingredient of a rank 5 profound meditation pill was the void grass. These things were priceless outside. The herbs here were somewhat different from the ones outside. They contained tyrannical energy, but Night Sorrow felt that after being refined by the alchemy furnace, the tyrannical energy could be separated. Night Sorrow also found a kind of poisonous bone-rotting grass. It was a kind of poisonous grass that would corrode the flesh and bones of humans and animals when it came into contact with it. Night Sorrow smashed one of the bone-rotting grass with a stone, covered the stone with the grass juice and wrapped it in a cloth. If he met an irresistible enemy, he could use it as a hidden weapon. The remaining dozen of them were also kept. After traveling for 3 days, the strongest demonic beast Yishang encountered was a peak rank 3 demonic beast. He didn't feel that it was very dangerous, so Yishang didn't waste any time. He rode Heavenly Feather and flew in the direction of the dense energy. Night Sorrow didn't know how big this void fiendish space was, nor did he know from which area Holy Light Temple, Thunder Rumbling Sect, and Red Cloud Sect entered from. He also didn't know if they were closer to the core area than him, but there was nothing wrong with making the best use of his time. While moving forward, Night Sorrow also paid attention to the situation. After all, this was a dangerous area. After flying for a day, after flying for 6,000 to 7,000 miles, Night Sorrow stopped moving forward. He didn't dare to move forward during the night. When he cultivated again, Night Sorrow knew that his judgment was correct. When he cultivated, his body absorbed more energy. During the day he cultivated at night. After half a month of cultivating, Night Sorrow's cultivation of the Myriad Tao treasured book improved very quickly. The main reason was that the energy in this space was very rich. The disadvantage was that it was very violent. Night Sorrow's body could absorb, assimilate and refine the energy, so the problem of violence was not the key. Night Sorrow didn't know how long it would take for him to move forward. During this time, the demonic beasts that he encountered were very high level. When he started walking, Night Sorrow only met 2 rank 3 demonic beasts. But now, standing on Tianyu's back, he could often see rank 3 demonic beasts. However, Night Sorrow didn't care about them and kept moving forward in the direction of the rich energy. Just when Night Sorrow was about to rest on Tianyu, an unexpected situation occurred. 3 tiger eagles appeared in the sky. They were extremely ferocious demonic beasts with a bird's body and a tiger's head. Seeing the 3 tiger eagles rushing toward Tianyu, Night Sorrow took out the sky-piercing spear and threw it toward the 2 demonic beasts with higher cultivation. Chapter 280. Genius 1 second. Remember love go/little? xuanhuan provides you with wonderful novels to read. If it was any other time, Night Sorrow wouldn't mind letting Tianyu fight and practice his combat skills. However, he couldn't in the Void Fiend space mainly because it was difficult to replenish energy. Night Sorrow didn't want Tianyu to expend too much energy and was also worried that Tianyu would be injured. Night Sorrow's sky-piercing spears were as fast as lightning, carrying 2 streaks of black light as they shot into the heads of the 2 tiger hawks in front, directly killing them without any suspense. Tianyu, suppress it to the ground. Night Sorrow communicated with Tianyu. There was only 1 mid-stage rank 3 tiger hawk left. Night Sorrow planned to try taming it. He had a few beast taming crystals with him, so if there was a suitable flying tame beast he would definitely capture it. Hearing Night Sorrow's words, Tianyu's wings flapped and his body rose into the air, dodging the tiger hawk's charge. Then with a spin he landed on the back of the last tiger hawk. A pair of sharp claws pressed down on the tiger hawk's flapping wings, and a sharp beak bit the back of the tiger hawk's neck, firmly suppressing the tiger hawk that was about to flip over. The tiger hawk couldn't fly, so it could only extend its wings as far as possible and land on the ground. Once it landed on the ground it couldn't move. Night Sorrow jumped off Tianyu's back, took out an ice serpent tendon from his storage ring, and tied the tiger hawk's 2 huge wings together. Only then did he retrieve his 2 sky-piercing spears. Standing in front of the tiger hawk's head, Night Sorrow raised his right hand and slapped the tiger hawk's head, because the tiger hawk was glaring at him angrily. Night Sorrow's energy-infused right hand was no different from a weapon. This slap caused the tiger hawk's head to fall to the side. I know your intelligence isn't low and you can understand my words. Now I'll give you 2 choices. Submit or die. Yi Sorrow said to Tiger Eagle, who was still glaring at him, and slapped him again with his right hand. The Tiger Eagle glared at Night Sorrow with its black and red eyes. It kept roaring. Birds chirped, but the Tiger Eagle's roar was a tiger's roar. Looking at Tiger Hawk's eyes, Night Sorrow pressed Tiger Hawk's head with his left hand and slapped him 5 or 6 times with his right hand. The Tiger Eagle's head was swaying and it was dizzy. Let me ask you again, are you going to submit? While Night Sorrow was asking, his right hand was constantly twitching. He knew that the demonic beasts here were different from the ones outside. The demonic beasts here were violent, so he had to use violence to make them submit. After beating it twice and seeing that the Tiger Eagle had no intention of submitting, Night Sorrow took out the sky-piercing spear from his waist. If he couldn't subdue it, then he could only kill it. Seeing Night Sorrow take out the sky-piercing spear, fear appeared in the tiger eagle's eyes. It felt the aura of death from the sky-piercing spear. "I'll ask you again, are you going to submit or not?" Night Sorrow coldly looked at the tiger eagle and asked. Hearing Night Sorrow's words, the tiger eagle crawled in front of Night Sorrow and stuck its head to the ground. Seeing this, Night Sorrow took back the sky-piercing spear and patted the tiger eagle's head. This was to tell the tiger eagle that he accepted its submission. After the tiger eagle submitted, Night Sorrow went forward and untied the dragon tendons that bound its wings. He knew the demonic beast's character. Once they submitted, they wouldn't betray. Submitting demonic beasts was different from taming beasts. Taming beasts belonged to whoever tamed them, just like Su Chenbai's golden-eyed sparrow. Submitting demonic beasts were extremely valuable. They would absolutely obey orders and wouldn't betray. If Night Sorrow didn't use them, he could give them away. They would also be obedient to their master. Without the original master's orders, even if they died, no one else could control them. Looking at the two dead tiger eagles, Night Sorrow put away the demonic beast cores and teeth. Then he rode Xianhu and brought the tiger eagle a distance away before resting. Looking at the rank 3 level 5 tiger eagle, Night Sorrow was filled with joy. Its speed and fighting strength were inferior to Xianhu, but it would be different as they went deeper. Xianhu wasn't used to the tyrannical energy here, but the tiger eagle wasn't a problem. After Night Sorrow fed the tiger eagle and Xianhu beast pills, he made a shack and began to meditate. After calming down, Night Sorrow knew that he was unknowingly affected by the tyrannical energy in the void fiendish space. Otherwise, he wouldn't have treated the tiger eagle so violently. After quietly cultivating for a night, Night Sorrow rode Xianhu forward. As the tyrannical energy became denser, Xianhu's condition began to deteriorate. The consumption was quite large. In this situation, Night Sorrow landed on the tiger eagle's back and continued to fly forward. Bored, Night Sorrow took out a bone-rotting grass and smeared the grass juice on the two tiger eagles' teeth. Then he wrapped them in cloth and put them away. He didn't dare to touch them directly. Out of respect for the unknown, as long as it could increase his ability to protect himself, Night Sorrow didn't care what method it was. As for firing the bone-rotting eagle teeth, Night Sorrow wasn't worried about hurting himself. He wore the azure claw glove on his left hand, so it didn't affect him when he fired it. However, as long as the target was hit by the bone-rotting eagle teeth, it would be miserable. As they advanced, battles occurred from time to time. Night Sorrow didn't do much, it was Xianhu and the tiger eagle that did the killing. When they encountered ordinary flying beasts, Night Sorrow would directly deal with them with the sky-piercing spear. Ordinary beasts weren't worthy of Night Sorrow's attention, so he was too lazy to tame them. The tiger eagle was different. It was a beast with a lot of potential. This rank 3 level 5 wasn't even an adult yet, so it was normal that it wasn't Xianhu's opponent. Not to mention Xianhu's talent, his cultivation was also at the rank 3 level 7, much higher than the tiger eagle. The tyrannical energy was getting more and more intense, suppressing Xianhu. Night Sorrow and Xianhu talked about it and planned to recall Xianhu. However, Xianhu felt that it was still okay and didn't want to be recalled to the beast-taming space. It had a strong personality and didn't want to admit defeat. It didn't like the tiger eagle, so it naturally didn't think it was worse than the tiger eagle. The tyrannical energy was getting more and more intense, bringing with it a sense of emptiness that Night Sorrow couldn't describe. Obviously, the tyrannical energy was very fierce, so there shouldn't be any other feeling. However, Night Sorrow could feel this strong sense of emptiness. After advancing for a month, Night Sorrow felt that he had advanced hundreds of thousands of miles. However, he felt that the core area of this space was still very far away. Night Sorrow calculated that the Medicine Valley was millions of miles away from the Holy Light Temple and the Thunder Rumbling School. Even if he rode a flying beast, it would still take a few months. This space had a space passage between these two places, which meant that it was at least millions of miles wide or long. In this month, Night Sorrow used the best quality soul condensing pill to cultivate, so his true chi didn't advance much. However, the Myriad Tao treasure book's advancement was terrifying, reaching the peak of level 4 of the bone forging stage. On this day, Night Sorrow felt that the surrounding temperature was rapidly rising. The further he advanced, the higher the temperature. Then Night Sorrow saw a world of fire. It was a huge magma lake. This kind of situation made Night Sorrow somewhat happy. He knew that only this kind of special area could possibly produce heavenly materials and earthly treasures. There wouldn't be anything in ordinary areas, just some materials. After receiving Xianhu and the tiger eagle, Night Sorrow came to the magma lake. Chapter 281. Genius remembers love in 1 second/small? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Looking at the green rocky path that extended endlessly into the magma lake, Night Sorrow hesitated. He didn't know where this green rocky path led to or where the final destination was. After thinking for a while, Night Sorrow decided to go in and take a look. Since he was already here, he couldn't leave any regrets, even though the temperature here was already unbearable. After making his decision, Night Sorrow carried his reincarnation spear and stepped onto the green rocky path, heading inside. The heat coming from the bottom of his feet made Night Sorrow extremely uncomfortable, but he insisted on walking forward. As Night Sorrow moved forward, the violent aura weakened and was replaced by surging fire energy. Night Sorrow's silk robe was already rolled up. Sweat flowed down his cheeks and a burnt smell came from his boots. Night Sorrow circulated his true chi and used the mysterious jade spiritual energy in his hands to protect his feet, so that his combat boots wouldn't be burnt and his feet wouldn't be burned. Holding the wine jug, Night Sorrow drank a mouthful when he was thirsty and took a rest when he was tired. While moving forward, Night Sorrow didn't give up on cultivating. The pressure here was even more terrifying than the pressure at Danding Cliff. It was more unbearable than the pressure at Danding Cliff, so it was very suitable for cultivating the myriad Tao treasured tome. Under the state of cultivation, Night Sorrow moved forward day after day. Other than the green rocky path in front and behind him, there was only the churning magma lake, or rather, the sea of magma. Night Sorrow didn't give up. He knew that there was an end to the sea of magma, it was just a matter of how far it was. After walking day and night, other than increasing his cultivation, Night Sorrow was already numb to other things. On the 7th day of walking, Night Sorrow saw a special scene. A towering volcano sat in the middle of the sea of magma. The bottom of the volcano was made of black and red rocks. As the height of the volcano extended, there were lush green ancient trees. Magma was constantly spewing out from the peak of the mountain, but the distance was quite far. It didn't fall on the volcano and didn't harm the green vegetation. Night Sorrow felt a chill when he arrived at the top of the mountain, or rather, the island. He felt much more energetic. After drinking 2 mouthfuls of wine, Night Sorrow walked towards the island. After taking a few steps, Night Sorrow bumped into a wave of energy. This wave of energy sent Night Sorrow tumbling. Yishang, who was supporting himself on the ground, stretched out his right hand and slowly walked forward. After taking 5 steps forward, Night Sorrow's outstretched hand felt energy. Night Sorrow controlled his body to move forward slowly. He did not dare to collide head-on. As he moved slowly, Night Sorrow's body entered the energy. He entered slowly and the energy did not reject him. Love gone little sake walking in the energy. Night Sorrow was extremely shocked. The energy was so dense that it almost liquefied. The energy was pure and not violent. If it wasn't for the fact that he had to continue exploring, Night Sorrow would have immediately sat down cross-legged to cultivate. It would definitely be several times faster than on Danding Cliff. Original EP version Y square root first X release $4. After walking forward slowly for a while, Night Sorrow found a foggy cave entrance. Night Sorrow did not dare to move forward quickly. He was afraid that it would cause a violent rebound of energy. Every step he took was very careful. With such dense energy, if it went berserk, it would definitely tear him to pieces. The further they went, the denser the energy became. When they entered the cave, it wasn't as dark as Yishang had imagined. The light in the cave was very good, and the walls of the cave were full of shiny objects. After taking a closer look, Night Sorrow's heart could not help but quiver. The glowing objects were all crystals. A large number of low-grade spirit stones were shining. Night Sorrow continued forward. The cave passage was not parallel. It extended underground. Controlling his speed, Night Sorrow moved forward slowly. After walking for an hour, Night Sorrow estimated that he had entered the inner part of the island. In other words, he was 10,000 meters below the volcano. However, he had not reached the end. Night Sorrow was not anxious. He was only looking forward to what would happen next. After another hour, Night Sorrow reached the end of the passage. It was a huge cave, a cave in the belly of the mountain. Inside the cave, visible red and white energy spiraled. In the core area were 2 pools. One was a fiery red magma pool. Above the magma pool floated a fist-sized red stone. The red energy came from this stone. Most of it entered the magma pool, and only a small portion floated in all directions. On the other side was a much smaller pool. Above the pool floated a white stone. However, it was smaller, only the size of an egg. Origin Stone. Heaven's Mandate Stone. Night Sorrow's heart shook. These 2 were Heaven's Mandate Stones. There was no need to ask how Night Sorrow knew. Seeing these two stones, Night Sorrow was sure that these were the most precious and rare Heaven's Mandate stones. This was his feeling. Night Sorrow put on the claw glove that the sect had made for him. These two Heaven's Mandate stones were supreme treasures. He was afraid that the energy on them would harm people. Night Sorrow planned to take the water attribute Heaven's Mandate stone first. The water attribute was relatively less harmful. At this time the energy fluctuations could be seen with the naked eye. Night Sorrow was not afraid of the energy suppression. Dodging the ribbon-like energy, Night Sorrow came to the pool where the water attribute Heaven's Mandate stone was. After looking for a while, Night Sorrow's right hand was filled with mysterious jade spirit chi. He slowly reached under the water attribute Heaven's Mandate stone and gently held it in his hand. The moment he touched the Destiny stone, an image of a surging wave appeared in Yishang's mind. Then there was a small stream, a fast river, a surging river, and the waves of the sea. All kinds of dynamic images kept flashing. Shaking his head, Night Sorrow withdrew his hand. He looked at the Heaven's Mandate stone in his hand. He knew that the images just now were the evolution of the law of water. Holding the water attribute Heaven's Mandate stone, Night Sorrow's joy was indescribable. He could fulfill his promise to Wu Lingfei and give an explanation to Qinji Tower. Also he could use the Sikong Chiyu. After taking a deep breath, Night Sorrow took out a jade box and put the Heaven's Mandate stone inside before putting it into his storage ring. When he lowered his head, Night Sorrow noticed that the water in the pool was not water at all. It was an extremely pure spirit liquid, much purer than the spirit liquid from the medicinal cauldron. Night Sorrow took out 2 wine jars and began to fill them. He could not waste spirit liquid like this. Yishang's wine jugs were very high grade, and they were all made of celadone. After filling 2 jugs, Yishang, who had no empty jugs, took out a jug of wine. When he poured the wine into the jug, he found that the spirit liquid in the pool had disappeared. It had all seeped into the ground. This made him a bit annoyed. At least 1 jug of spirit liquid had disappeared. After dealing with the water attribute Heaven's Mandate stone, Night Sorrow looked at the fire attribute Heaven's Mandate stone. This fire attribute Heaven's Mandate stone was much bigger than the water attribute Heaven's Mandate stone. Night Sorrow came to the side of the huge lava pool. When the energy in the air appeared, he jumped up and reached for the fire attribute Heaven's Mandate stone with his right hand. Very smoothly Yishang managed to obtain the fire attribute Destiny stone. Looking at the lava that was filled with energy, Yishang could only sigh. He couldn't take that thing. After putting away the fire attribute Heaven's Mandate stone, Night Sorrow took out his extra Thunder Cry sword and started to dig around the cave. They were all extreme quality spirit stones. Chapter 282. Genius 1 second. Remember love go/small? I will provide you with interesting novels to read. Night Sorrow was playing hard. He only dug out peak-grade spirit stones and there were very few high-grade ones. After digging out all the peak-grade spirit stones in the cave, Night Sorrow obtained several hundred of them. Seeing that there were no more peak-grade spirit stones in the cave, Night Sorrow took the Thunder Cry sword and started digging along the tunnel. He dug as he walked out. Chapter 6px. Original Chapter 6px. 2 hours later, Night Sorrow had dug out more than 1,000 high-grade spirit stones. Seeing that there were no more high-grade spirit stones, Night Sorrow wiped the Thunder Cry sword and put it away. The Thunder Cry sword was of high quality, and ordinary weapons would have been chipped and broken if he dug like this. Night Sorrow did not touch the mid-grade spirit stones. 1,000 high-grade spirit stones were equivalent to more than 100,000 mid-grade spirit stones, not to mention the hundreds of peak-grade spirit stones. As he walked, Night Sorrow discovered that the energy in the tunnel had weakened. It was not as dense as before, and the further he walked, the thinner the energy became. After leaving the underground cave and returning to the volcano, Night Sorrow saw that the environment had changed. The lava on the volcano was no longer erupting, and the lush ancient trees were a little withered. Night Sorrow knew that this was because he had taken the Destiny Stone, which had destroyed the energy structure here. The Fire Attribute Destiny Stone contained the Fire Attribute Law, so it formed a lava lake and the volcano was constantly erupting. As for why there were green trees on the volcanoes in the lava lake, that was because of the Water Element Destiny Stone. The Water Attribute Destiny Stone's existence had preserved a green land in a world of fire. Now that it had been taken away, this green land would no longer exist. Night Sorrow searched the small but tall green volcano for 6 hours. He collected many spirit herbs, including several hundred void grass and clear void grass. The most valuable spirit herbs he obtained were 2 stalks of yin-yang spirit fruits, which he saw above the cave entrance. Night Sorrow found out that they were Tier 6 treasures after comparing them with the Fey Illustrated Handbook. They were the main ingredient for the Tier 6 elixir pill, the dual polarity pill. After plundering everything here, Night Sorrow planned to leave. How to leave? There was only one limestone path. If he followed it back, it would waste more than half a month. After thinking for a while, Night Sorrow let out the tiger eagle and fed it a beast essence pill. He then rode the tiger eagle in the direction he planned, even if he did not find a foothold, even if there was a lava lake in front of him. Other people wouldn't dare to do this. Once the flying demonic beast's energy was exhausted and there was no place to land, it would be a dead end. Flying demon beasts wouldn't be able to last long above such a lava lake, but Yi Shang wasn't afraid. First of all, he had the origin spirit elixir to support the tiger eagle's recovery. In addition, he had Tianyu. Even if Tianyu was not used to this kind of high temperature, he could hold on for a while and give the tiger eagle time to recover. When he came, he did not know the situation and needed to scout. Night Sorrow did not dare to fly on a demonic beast. Now that he wanted to leave, he did not have so many misgivings. Night Sorrow had been bitterly cultivating on the limestone path. The results of his cultivation were very obvious. His chi had reached the mid-8th level of the core condensation realm and he had reached the peak of the 4th level of the bone forging realm. He was about to break through. If he did not break through, he would not be able to increase his cultivation. This was a volcanic island. There could be danger at any time, so Night Sorrow did not dare to break through here. The tiger eagle flew at a very high altitude. This way it could avoid the high temperature of the lava lake. Even so, its speed was not fast. Standing on the tiger eagle's back, Night Sorrow had been scouting the situation. Every hour, he would feed the tiger eagle a drop of spirit spring elixir to replenish its energy. Flying while resisting the high temperature was extremely taxing on the tiger eagle. Half a day later, Night Sorrow felt a violent energy. Only when there was not enough fire energy would the violent energy be obvious. Night Sorrow knew that they were not far from the edge of the lava lake. After replenishing the tiger eagle's energy, Night Sorrow controlled it to continue flying. Finally, before the sky turned dark, the tiger eagle flew out of the lava lake's range. Night Sorrow did some calculations. Even if the environment was bad and the tiger eagle flew very slowly, it still flew about 3,000 miles in a day. This meant that the lava lake's range of 5,000 miles might be exaggerated, but it was at least 6,000 to 7,000 miles. Recalling the tiger eagle to rest, Night Sorrow let out Tianyu. Riding Tianyu for a while, he felt that the heat was not as hot anymore. Only then did he set up a shack to rest. His butt had not touched the ground for several days. After sitting down, Night Sorrow felt tired. He also let out the tiger eagle, fed it and Tianyu beast essence pills, and told the two beasts to be vigilant. Night Sorrow planned to rest for a while before making a breakthrough in the myriad Dao tome. Not making a breakthrough would delay his progress. After eating some jerky, drinking some wine, and looking at the treasures he had obtained, Night Sorrow began to meditate and cultivate. While Night Sorrow was cultivating, the two of them arrived at the green rock path that Night Sorrow had walked on. If Night Sorrow saw them, he would recognize that one of them was the genius of the Golden Flame sect, Xuanhuan. "Cousin, why is the environment here so bad?" Xuanhuan asked. Xuanhuan's cultivation had improved very quickly. After the Venerable Convention, he had broken through to the core condensation realm. Now he was at the peak of the 5th level of the core condensation realm and had the strength to fight with late-stage core condensation realm experts. Therefore he had also entered the void fiendish space. Don't be afraid of the harsh environment. Remember, only special environments can produce heavenly treasures. If we can obtain the Destiny Stone this time, then our position in the Extreme Heaven Tower will rise, said the man Xuanhuan referred to as his cousin. This young man was called Su Wang. When he entered the void fiendish space, his cultivation was at the peak of the core condensation realm. After eating a pill, he broke through to the 4th level of the soul condensation realm. After eldest cousin goes out, he will be able to get the attention of He. At that time he will be the patrol of Tianji Tower, Xuanhuan said enviously. You have to work hard too. Let's see how we can get there, Su Wang said as he observed the green rock path. After looking for a while, Su Wang made the same decision as Night Sorrow. They would go in and take a look. Su Wang had his Jin Qi to protect his body, while Xuanhuan channeled the power of his sect's ultimate skill, Golden Flame Hand, to his feet to protect them. The two of them proceeded towards the lava lake. Not long after they entered, other people came one after another. In the middle of the night, Night Sorrow raised the cultivation of the Myriad Dao Tome to the 5th level of the Broken Bone Tome. After the Myriad Dao Tome was successfully upgraded, Night Sorrow ate a top-grade core condensation pill to stabilize the cultivation of the myriad Dao Tome while working hard to cultivate his true qi. After dawn, Night Sorrow got up and drank 2 mouthfuls of wine. He cultivated his spear technique for a while and was ready to continue forward. Now the violent energy suppression was very strong. Tianyu was not used to it. After communicating with Tianyu was still unwilling to enter the beast-taming space.